Full commentary with Mark Warburton and Conor McNamara.
Thanks very much, Mark. The teams are out on the field ahead of kick-off here at Kenilworth Road. There was a downpour of freezing rain that lasted a good 20 minutes, half hour ahead of kick-off, but mercifully that has eased as Kenilworth Road just prepares for a moment's pause ahead of kick-off. The teams have come into the centre circle, and this is in memory of Chris Nicholl, who's passed away in recent days. So the Luton players and the Villa players around the centre circle and awaiting the instruction of referee Michael Oliver. Chris Nicholl remembered ahead of kick-off here at Kenilworth Road. Player and a manager of renown in the past, and associations with both Luton Town and Aston Villa. Chris Nicholl, who's passed away at the age of 77. Luton are going to get us started in their orange shirts, black shorts, orange socks. Rob Edwards, who didn't play very many Premier League games as a player, but most of them that he did were in the colours of today's opponents, Aston Villa. Villa, who are in a change strip of blue. Michael Oliver, the referee, gets things started. Luton will play from left to right as we look down. Kenilworth Road, Saturday 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League. Luton, who've had a tricky run of results lately. They've been beaten in the last 4 games in a row. Aston Villa very much in pole position for a top 4 finish. They want to stay in that top 4. And Unai Emery's team looking for a 3rd Premier League win in succession in that regard. Ross Barkley immediately went direct with a long ball for Luton that goes out of play, and it is a goal kick to Aston Villa and their goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez away to our right hand side. Mark Warburton's alongside me. Luton, you get the sense just the whole build up of the game, they're going to go for this, Mark.
Absolutely, I think they believe in the way they're playing, they believe in the confidence given them by the manager and the coaching staff, Conor. So looking forward to this. I think the player you mentioned, Ross Barkley, has a key role to play. The impact he's had all season has been outstanding, and he today is their key player for sure, and hopefully he can get on the ball and make things play.
Luton to make a few changes from the drubbing by Manchester City in the FA Cup in midweek. 3 changes in all, including the goalkeeper Thomas Kaminski back in after Tim Krul let in 6 goals in the midweek. Not much the Dutch keeper could have done about any of them, to be fair. Reece Burke, Tendon Mengi, Amari Bell are the back 3. As for the first time, Ollie Watkins comes on the attack for Aston Villa. A couple of step overs on the edge of the box. Gives it to Leon Bailey, who's arrived at pace. He sends it across the face of goal, and it was almost like Ramsey tried to chest the ball in. It came off Ramsey, but no firm touch. And with a goal at his mercy, he's not managed to put an attempt on target. Big chance for Aston Villa inside the opening 2 minutes.
Absolutely. There's a threat of Watkins stretching the play early in the game there, Conor. You saw the threat he poses. It should really be 1-0 to Villa by now.
Comes in, maybe it's that height where he doesn't know, do I stoop down for it? He doesn't want to lift his leg up for it. Maybe he thinks the defender's going to get there first. But it comes across the edge of the 6-yard box, the goal pretty much at his mercy, and it just flashes off his chest and bounces away. That's a huge chance for Villa right at the very start of this game, and Luton fans have seen so many early goals. They've scored early goals, they've conceded early goals. It's been a real narrative of their season back up in the Premier League. Manchester United played here in the last home game, and Hoyland scored inside 40 seconds. So Luton have survived that. Doughty comes on the attack down the left-hand side. Luton play from left to right as we look down. Barkley on the ball with the white boots. You look earlier on the season, Luton were very direct, long balls. They're beginning to play shorter passes now in the midfield, and it's all about Barkley being the general. As Burke here gives it to Issa Kabore on the right-hand side. Kabore back in the team, having been ineligible against his parent club Manchester City in midweek. Tendon Mendy will give it to Amari Bell. Luton on the halfway line. No particularly high press from Aston Villa, but it is very obvious as we see them in their position here that Yuri Tielemans is the midfielder who's pushing forward, and he's up like a second striker along with Ollie Watkins. As now Ramsey gets a chance to break away down the left-hand side. Mengi comes across, great pace and power. He had to be careful there on the edge of the penalty area. That's brilliant defending from Tendon Mengi. He just ate up the ground, and out it goes for a corner kick.
Showed great pace there, Conor, but we're only 3 minutes into a game, and already the threat's been posed on both flanks. Ramsey, Bailey, Watkins stretched in play. play here. I think Rob will be concerned what he's seeing so early in the game.
Ramsey, who's been involved in both of the breaks, and he just didn't have another gear to shift into there. I thought he was going to press down on the accelerator and burn away from Mengi, but Mengi just came thundering across and made that challenge to put the ball out for a corner. The corner kick, which is being delayed because Luton have a problem here with Amari Bell. Amari Bell, who was injured against Manchester City in midweek, needed treatment, had to go off, and he's now gone down again in the early stages. So Rob Edwards, who might have made a bit of a gamble bringing Amari Bell into his starting team again today, and there is concern on the face of the player and the medical staff as they work on him inside the penalty area that Luton defend away to our left-hand side. This was off the ball, he was just running back and he's pulled up as he was sprinting into the penalty area.
He doesn't look at all comfortable there, Connor, does he? This will be a major concern so early in the game and the role he has to play for Luton. But he's up now, hopefully walking, hopefully nothing too serious, but the way he pulled up there must be a worry. Yeah,
doesn't look good, and there is plenty activity down inside the home side's technical area. Chiedozie Ogbene looks like he's been prepared to come on for an early change. I mean, we haven't played 5 minutes yet. This would be a very early change of events for Luton. Well, we've got a break in play. Here's the Villa team. Emi Martinez behind the back four of Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, who's back in the team. He had started every Premier League game this season before he went off injured against Sheffield United in early February. They expected him to be out a bit longer than this. He's missed the last 4 games, but he's back in today alongside Clement Longley. Pau Torres on the bench. Alex Moreno plays at left back. In midfield, Bailey wide right, Ramsey wide left, Douglas Luiz with John McGinn in the middle, and Youri Tielemans pushing forward with Ollie Watkins through the centre. The change has been made. Ogbene is on for Luton. Here comes the corner, taken short by Douglas Luiz to Youri Tielemans, gives it back to Douglas Luiz, clips it into the penalty area, slightly behind his teammates in the middle, and Luton should be able to clear away here. A first touch for Ogbene, though, gives the ball away to Matty Cash. Here's Cash for Villa, down the right-hand side. Most of his teammates still in advanced positions after the corner kick. Villa holding onto the ball, back to Konsa. Cash again available on the right-hand side. And then safety first option as he turns and retreats back into his own penalty area and ultimately back to the goalkeeper Martinez. Luton 0, Aston Villa 0 on 5 Live.
I think there'd be quite a worry here for the Luton fans. You've seen options short and long there. Watkins again stretching play, and unfortunately there's been a corner there, but they're coming short in the gear, getting a half turn and playing forward, and the long ball's also hurting on both flanks. So some early concern here, Connor.
It's a free kick to Luton, and the referee judging that Ollie Watkins handled it there. Now I've got a bit of sympathy for Watkins here. It's one of those where the ball gets powered at him from maybe 2 yards away, probably a yard and a half away. How are you supposed to react? But it's given us a handball when it repelled up on him. And I get it, if it ends up in the back of the net, you'd say, well, look, you've handled the ball. But in open play like that, I'm surprised the free kick was given there.
That's a poor call. It's nothing the player can do in that situation. As I said, I understand the referee's thinking right there.
Luton 0, Aston Villa 0. First chance for the home side as Townsend comes forward. Tahith Chong, left-footed shot, and Matty Cash sliding across, makes a tackle. It was offside anyway. Townsend was in an offside position, but the defender had to be sure, and that was good for Matty Cash, sliding in front of Tahith Chong, who scored in the FA Cup against Bolton in January, scored in the Premier League against Liverpool in November, and that's the first time that Luton have come forward in any way, shape or form. First time really they've had possession in the final third as they attack Martinez's penalty area.
I'm sure their preparation will involve the thoughts about the high line that Villa always hold and are renowned for, but again, he looked to get in maybe a yard too early. That will be a threat for them. This is a bigger danger. Villa are threatening on both flanks, but Watkins is stretching play far too easily at the moment.
Aston Villa, who do defend so high up the pitch, and Unai Emery uses Emi Martinez as the sweeper keeper. But it is remarkable when you look at the stats at how good the Villa offside trap is, and you'd imagine when they push up like that a lot that they would get cut out a lot, but they catch so many teams offside. Ramsey here, physical but under pressure from Burke, loses possession. Luton showing a hunger, 0-0 at Kenilworth Road. Burke's ball back to Tendon Mengi, who didn't want it, and with Ollie Watkins climbing all over him, he stumbled. The referee gives the defender the benefit of the doubt there. Free kick to Luton. Watkins complaining to referee Michael Oliver again.
I think Luton need to see that, Conor. They need to see the high regains up here. They're trying to apply some pressure early on. John McGinn's found it far too easy to get out and start play, but 1 or 2 early successes will give them that confidence they need.
A very exciting day in the Premier League already. Liverpool's 99th minute winner from Darwin Núñez has opened up a 4-point gap at the top of the Premier League. Tottenham came from behind to beat Crystal Palace. Everton after their recent readjustment of their points deduction. Well, they were beaten at home by West Ham today, and Luton will see this as an opportunity. I mean, if Luton win this game, that's 3 of those points back immediately.
Every point is so vitally important for them, Connor. Every single game, as you said, 13 cup finals. But they're starting to come back into this game. I thought the start Villa were very, very strong, and some concerns would have been obvious. But starting to show a little bit more flair in the final third now.
Here's Clark, who scored 2 wonder goals against City in midweek, but he can't get a shot away on the edge of the penalty area. Villa get it back. Clement Longley to Alex Moreno. Back to the Frenchman again. Townsend sprints in to apply some pressure. And Martinez clears away right-footed pass to Ezri Konsa. Villa, who really do, insist on playing it out of the back. They will be put under enormous pressure. They've won a free kick here with Ezri Konsa. I've seen so many Villa games this season when you think, oh, they're going to give it away here. And, they really trust each other, even in the tightest of corners. But on that occasion, Ezri Konsa was relieved to hear the referee's whistle.
He really was. He got away with one for me there. They had the confidence, they had the belief in their manager to go and play, and mistakes will be made. But right there, he forced to go away with a free kick, and Luton needs to keep applying this pressure.
Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 0. And traditionally, this has been a tough hunting ground for Villa. They've only had 1 league win here in the past. Mind you, that was all a long, long time ago. This is the first meeting of these clubs here at Kenilworth Road since 1992. So, it'll be Martinez to take that free kick from inside the Aston Villa penalty area, high up over the halfway line. It would have fallen for Watkins, but Tielemans obviously didn't get a shout. He jumped in front of Ollie Watkins and he headed it away from his teammates. Kabore has it on the right-hand side for Luton. Townsend's given it away, too casual with the pass into Barkley, in towards Barkley, and it was Aaron Ramsey who nipped in to get possession. And then Jacob Ramsey, I should say, confusing him with his brother, who's on loan at Burnley. This is Douglas Luiz to John McGinn, trademark 360-degree swivel by John McGinn to shield the ball away from Jordan Clark. Now Moreno has it. Villa still inside their own half, and Luton are making it difficult now for their opponents to break out of their own half. Back retreat Villa all the way to the keeper again. 10 minutes played. 0-0 in this 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League on 5 Live. Cash, 10 yards outside his own penalty area, gives it infield to McGinn. Across the edge of the box to Clement Longley. Townsend sprints in. Now Ramsey will try and break up towards the halfway line. Burke has come across to pressure at great feet. Really good stuff. And then Ramsey goes down over the halfway line. He's been fouled. Oh, free kick's gone the other way. Referee says that Ramsey's committed the foul on Barkley. A trailing arm catching Barkley in the nose. Free kick to Luton. And that's 3 decisions now that Villa players are thinking, hang on a minute. I mean, it looks like Barkley fouls him, but then the arm... No, it happened the other order. It's the right decision for the referee. Just seeing the replay, Mark. The arm did catch Barkley before he got anywhere near the opponent.
Absolutely, he did there. But I think Ramsey's posing a real problem. He's drifting inside and creating this overload in midfield. So Burke has a decision to make. Do I go in to mark him, or do I stay alongside my fellow centre-half? And right now, Ramsey's dictating affairs here. Both
these managers who keep tight-knit squads. Bolger's had a play down below us. Luton have used fewer players in the Premier League this season than any other team. And Aston Villa, while they have used more players overall, Unai Emery has made by far the fewest changes to his starting 11 over the course of the campaign. So these are 2 coaches who trust the system, who trust the individuals, and they're hoping that they will achieve their very different respective aims this campaign. Villa want European Cup, Champions League football for next season. Luton want to stay in the Premier League. Cash clears away, right-footed up towards Leon Bailey. That's a brilliant flick. He was under pressure. He ultimately did give away possession, but it was such a clever idea to flick it into Tielemans. The ball goes forward, hits the corner flag. Everyone thought it was going out for a goal kick. Hits the corner flag, goes out on the throw-in side, and suddenly Matty Cash has got a difficult position now to take a throw. Penned in, right full-back position. 0-0, 13 minutes played. Mark Warburton.
I think you can see the early plans here from Villa, Connor, in terms of Bailey maintaining the width on that far right-hand side. Ramsey rolling into midfield to create the overload. And at the moment, it's posing problems for Luton. They have to work it out. Burke has decisions to make, but right now it's proven very effective.
If you're joining our coverage late here, Amari Bell had to go off early, replaced by Chidozie Obene. That was in the opening minutes of the match. Villa once again looking to play it out from deep. Luton trying to pen them in there. And Moreno's been caught in possession by Ross Barkley. Chance for Luton. Townsend, right-footed cross. Martinez comes. Good goalkeeping. Stretching at the far post, gathering it high above his head, and then all in one motion he bowls it out to Tielemans as Villa look to inject this pace once again. Bailey over by the sideline on the far side, gives it short to McGinn in the midfield. Now Douglas Luiz. He'll come up into the centre circle. 10 men back behind the ball for Luton Town. McGinn now will take it into Luton territory, makes up good ground, plays a lovely ball. Ramsey's shot saved away by Kaminski. Well, that was made look easy by Villa. They just carved their way through the centre of the field, and the Luton Town keeper pushes it out for a corner kick. It's that man Jacob Ramsey again. He's been at the heart of everything for Villa.
He is again, that position kind of coming inside. They've got a problem here, Luton. They've got to work out how to deal with the overload in that midfield area. Width has been provided by Moreno coming on as a moulding fullback, but right now Luton are outnumbered and it's caused them too many problems.
Ramsey has hurt himself in the process of taking that shot. He's nursing his left boot, and referee Michael Oliver invites the Aston Villa physios to come on for some treatment to Jacob Ramsey. Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 0. Earlier on today, Rangers beaten at home by Motherwell. Celtic can go top in Scotland tomorrow if they win away at Hearts. There'll be 6:06 after this game on 5 Live. You can react to the day's footballing stories with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. That's from 7:30 or thereabouts this evening on 5 Live once this game has come to an end. So earlier on today in the Premier League, Chelsea held to a 2-2 draw with their near neighbours Brentford. Everton beaten at home by West Ham, a win for David Moyes back at Goodison Park. Fulham are beginning to put a run of form together. They beat Brighton by 3-0. That was at Craven Cottage. Also a 3-0 home win for Newcastle against Wolves. Wolves who had been going great guns with recent performances, but they've hit a speed bump today. Liverpool got that very late Darwin Núñez winner at the City Ground to beat Nottingham Forest to move 4 points clear ahead of the Manchester derby tomorrow. Tottenham, who did go 1-0 down to Crystal Palace, came back to win that game in North London by 3-1. First goal for Tottenham for Timo Werner. Right, Ramsey has had his treatment. He's now had to leave the field. Corner to Aston Villa, which Youri Tielemans will take. Right hand side as they come forward. Free header for Douglas Luiz at the front post, and he puts it across the face of goal and wide. And Douglas Luiz, who's got 3 goals in his last 3 Premier League games, but given such a free header, he'll be disappointed, Mark, not to have hit the target there.
Yeah, you saw his start point being unmarked, but you watched the defender being blocked, gets a free run and should really do better from that position. Good delivery, good opportunity.
Scored in the game against Manchester United in February. Douglas Luiz scored twice against Nottingham Forest last weekend. Here comes Chidozie Obene, who's on the left-hand side for Luton, having come on as a sub. Leon Bailey's back to try and patrol him. Obene had turned him and then cut back inside again. He's beaten the Jamaican twice. Low ball into the penalty area. Ezri Konsa was the first defender, and he's able to clear it away. John McGinn still inside Villa penalty area. Back to Konsa, back to Martinez. It's so intricate. As a neutral, it makes me feel nervous how they do that inside their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, they have confidence and belief in what they're doing. As you mentioned earlier, Connor, they've got trust in each other, trust from the manager as well. But I don't see it as risk at the moment. They're confidently moving the ball in these areas, and they're getting the end result for it. They work into midfield and they're stretching the play. So I think we're going to see it for the full game here, no doubt.
Yeah, it's the benefit is when you do force the opponents to push up, that creates loads of space then if you can get in through them. And that is a tactic that has served Unai Emery very well in his Aston Villa career so far. Long leg clears away up towards the halfway line. Doughty has a touch. It's been quite considerable, this change that Luton have had to make, because they've got too many right-sided players. Obene's come on, they already had Kabore, so Obene's playing left. But what that does is it moves Alfie Doughty into a more central position, and his supply line from the left-hand side is such an important part of what Luton do. He's in a sort of left-back position at the moment, but with Edozie ahead of him, you would wonder if Luton fans would want to see Doughty a bit further up the pitch.
There's no doubt about that. I think that's their outlet ball as well for Barkley from midfield to switch play and open up their left flank, and losing his supply, losing his quality and delivery will be a big blow to Luton.
Luton 0, Aston Villa 0. Tomorrow the Manchester derby is a 3:30 kick-off at the Etihad. You can listen to that game in full here on 5 Live. There'll be build-up from 12 noon. You can also listen to commentary of the Burnley against Bournemouth game. That starts at 1 tomorrow. Clark has possession for Luton, 10 yards outside his own penalty area. Issa Kabore on the right-hand side will bring it up, but over the halfway line. Ball into the feet of Townsend. Moreno got a touch. Clark gets it back for Luton, but then his pocket is picked by Jacob Ramsey. Good play from Villa as they work it up to Tielemans again, but Doughty in that central role closes him down, and Luton get it back and back to the goalkeeper Kaminski. Still 0-0.
Yeah, I think they're still going to look for this overload. I'll try to repeat myself on this one, but this is a problem for them. They need one of the defenders to step in, and it leaves a central defender one-on-one with Watkins, and his pace is obvious, so they've got a concern right now.
Bene on the far side gives it back to Doughty, and into the centre again, and Tendon Mengi. And now Barkley drops in amongst the defenders to pick up possession here. Head up, scanning the horizon, looking for options, and then plays a short pass just in field to Burke. Tielemans up with Watkins, but both of them staying on the halfway line. They're not pressing high the way Luton are down the other end. Leon Bailey back to Matty Cash. Very composed play from Villa. Longley now to Moreno, working from right to left just on the edge of their own penalty area again. It's high-risk stuff as Townsend almost makes an interception. Then he goes in, puts pressure on Longley. Then Moreno clears away up towards the halfway line, but Villa once again work their way through the press. There's a foul by Tendon Mengi on Ollie Watkins. That's a free kick to Villa inside the visitors' half.
And it's important, you look at Bailey maintaining the width on the far side, they're occupying the defender. It opens up the centre of the pitch here. So it's a key area they're going to focus on. So it's really important for me that, as I say, they're going to press their Luton, they win the ball nice and high, they're tight and compact behind it, but right now Villa's positioning is posing too many problems.
With Tottenham winning earlier on today, they move to within 3 points of Aston Villa for now. And so a chance for Unai Emery's side to re-establish a 6-point gap in that guaranteed Champions League spot. Possibility, of course, that 5th could be good enough for a Champions League qualification for next season. But Villa, who haven't been in the European Cup since 1983, and you know, back then they were holders of the competition. If you had told Villa fans in 1983 that we would fast forward all the way through to 2024 and they wouldn't have been back in the European Cup, I don't think many would have believed you, given the team that they had back in those days. Moreno plays the ball forward. Bene with a very important header on the edge of his own penalty area. Otherwise Bailey would have been in around behind him, and then Bailey commits a foul on Bene in his attempts to recuperate possession, and that is going to be a free kick to Luton on the edge of their own box.
And there's the movement that's causing the problem. So you saw Ramsey come in, you saw Burke get dragged all the way in, and leaves Watkins one-on-one with the centre half, and again that's the outlet ball for Villa.
The skies are very much cleared here, beginning to darken skies, but after very dark clouds and freezing rain ahead of kick-off, it's now a cold but bright evening at Kenilworth Road, and the pitch here illuminated by the floodlights, and it's got that sort of claustrophobic feel. I mean, one of the smallest grounds there's ever been in top flight football, and yet the fans are right in on top of the pitch, and it does feel claustrophobic as Watkins attacks down the right hand side for Villa, tried to send it across towards Ramsey, and good goalkeeping at his front post by Kaminski to cut it out. But Villa continue to look dangerous on the counter, 0-0.
They do, and they get bodied forward so quickly. You saw Louise there, you saw Ramsey quickly hitting key areas, so very effective. But the team are quick, they're fit, and they're showing that energy, which is quite now putting them in a superior position.
Also coming up this coming week on 5 Live, the return of the Champions League. Will be in Germany on Tuesday, Bayern Munich taking on Lazio. Commentary here on 5 Live. On Wednesday, Manchester City host Copenhagen. You can listen to that one here. And on Thursday, we'll be in Prague, Sparta against Liverpool. That's our commentary in the Europa League on Thursday. That's a tea-time kickoff. Alex Moreno has possession, left-back position for Villa. Gives it to Ramsey, back into Clement Longley. And Villa continue to pass their way through the Luton press. This is McGinn into Tielemans, who's dropped a bit deep, and he's been caught by Doughty. Referees just play on because Tielemans kept his feet, but there was no doubt he was fouled there. Ball up towards Watkins, who can't make it stick. Ball bounced off his shin pads, but McGinn does really well to win it back again. And now Bailey plays it into Watkins. Shot on target is saved. Kaminski, 2 clubs on it to push over the top and out for a corner. First big chance for Ollie Watkins, who's got 5 goals in his last 5 Premier League games.
Huge chance, you expect him to score, but all credit to John McGinn there. What a great tackle, middle of park to win the ball, regain possession, start that attack there, but a huge chance for Villa.
That was just the sort of situation that Villa are playing towards all the time. The opportunity to turn the defence, to exploit the pace of Ollie Watkins. Scored after 4 minutes of the win over Nottingham Forest last weekend in the Premier League, and he, for a moment, looked like he was going to get a first-half goal here. It was a great shot towards the top corner. Kaminski, guarding that front post, was able to push it over. Bailey, who's got very little room to deal with in the tight, congested area around the corner flag. Two-step run up, delivers it in. Watkins headed to score! Ollie Watkins gives Aston Villa the lead, and what a season he's having! That is now 20 goals in all competitions for Villa for Ollie Watkins, who's having the season of his life. Luton 0, Aston Villa 1.
And it's a great finish, great delivery, but they know the threat posed by Villa in the set pieces, Conor. And again, he's hit his target, great run, great technique, but they've gone 1-0 down to a goal they should really deal with far better than that. Ball comes into the box here, again, good movement, good set piece, good organisation, good contact, but again, far too easy for Luton, from Luton's perspective.
Ollie Watkins does it again. Delivery from Leon Bailey, all sorts of movement, but he managed to get a clean header in. I mean, there's defenders with him, it's not a free header, but nobody jumps with him. They're standing near him, they're not challenging for the ball. And with a poacher of the quality of Ollie Watkins, you've got to put more pressure on him than that.
They know the threat. I'd say, they know the threat posed by delivery and the run of Watkins there. They must do better. Physicality of the defenders has to be better than that to stop that easy goal. I'm looking now here. They've gone 1-0 up here at a time of really dominating possession, dominating the threat as well. So I think it's important 5 or 10 minutes now for Luton to steady the ship and work their way back into this game.
20 goals in all competitions, 15 now in the Premier League, and we're only in the first few days of March. Ollie Watkins has never scored more than 15 Premier League goals in a campaign in his career, and with the Euros to come in the summer, his continued goal-scoring form has got to be giving Gareth Southgate much to think about.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have, isn't it? People scoring goals is never an issue for you, Conor. Just look at the game here. You mentioned earlier Villa's high line, and again, it can be 10-15 yards away from the ball, but they're disciplined, they're well drilled, and right now Luton haven't got the cleverness to break it down.
Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins goal. And Ramsey gives it to Moreno in a tight corner, back to Clement Longley, who'll chest it down and clear away right-footed up towards the halfway line. Mengi got in front of Watkins on that occasion, and Luton get it back. Douglas Luiz, though, to immediately regain possession. The body language looks good now. This is a satisfied Aston Villa team. They are comfortable, they're pleased, they have this lead away from home. They know that they've been playing well in the game. Ramsey turns and sends it back to Longley once again. It's very controlled possession. They don't risk a high risk sort of long ball forward. They will much rather take a short, easy pass back to hold on to possession. There's a good patience about Villa in that regard, but Watkins, unable to hold on to the ball, screams at Michael Oliver that he was fouled there. The referee says no, and Luton regain possession. Got to be quite careful there, Ollie Watkins. I've seen players booked this season for less than that. He roaring at the referee.
Yeah, he's very, very careful, but Luton have to stop this outlet ball here, Conor. It's too easy. They can play the intricate stuff in their own defensive third, but they've got the outlet ball into Watkins' feet far too easily, so they have to get a man in front to stop this outlet.
Luton, who are yet to come back and win a Premier League game this season after conceding the opening goal. And last time they did it was in the Championship last season. They went behind against Middlesbrough. They came back to win, but they've not been able to do that in the Premier League yet. And Aston Villa, who have got their start, and they have looked dangerous in truth every time they've come forward. Barkley's ball over the halfway line is not one of his best, given away. McGinn has it for Villa. Now Moreno will bring it up towards the halfway line. Chops a pass in field to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, who had an early headed attempt off target when this game was still 0-0. Cash picks out Bailey. It's all so comfortable for Villa at the moment. Bailey up against Clark. Great footwork there to just slot the ball away from the outstretched leg of the defender and to hold on to possession for his team. Villa really pushing up. The central defenders are up, and for a moment there they were up good 10 yards inside Luton's territory. Moreno into the feet of Ramsey, left-hand side now for Villa. Kabore's trying to hassle him. Villa, no shortage of hard work, but they can't get a touch at the moment, Mark.
No, not at all. Yeah, that'd be so impressed here tactically with Aston Villa. You watch him, Bailey on the far side defensively, he drops in to double up with Cash and negate that threat that Luton have from their left flank. And then going forward, you've got two very willing fullbacks. Cash will run all day, and he provides the outlet for them as well.
28 minutes played. Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins headed goal from a corner. This is Longley up towards Watkins. Mengi gets a touch ahead, and now Barkley has it. Low to the feet of Morris. We've hardly mentioned Carlton Morris's name in the game. The number 9 has been isolated and starved of possession up front. I'll be surprised if he's had 2 touches in the game so far, Morris. Here comes Bailey, attacking down the right-hand side, up against Obere. 2 real speed merchants there. They both fall on their knees. No foul. Referee says play on. Luton still have possession just outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, and there's the threat again, but good defending. It's all in the game for Mengi, but defenders are showing their pace. They're going to need it tonight against these attacking players. But again, another good opportunity for Villa.
The official stats this season: Chidozie Obere has been the 2nd fastest runner in the Premier League this campaign. Tottenham's Mickey van de Ven has been the fastest, but Obere needed his pace there to keep up with Bailey. As Issa Kabore, maybe a bit of frustration spilling over, crunches into Alex Moreno, and that is going to be a free kick to Villa, who will also take advantage of this break in play to make a substitution. Now, we mentioned that Jacob Ramsey had been running uncomfortably for some time. He has just been replaced. Morgan Rogers has come on for only his 3rd Premier League appearance for Villa. Rogers is on in place of Ramsey.
And no doubt be interested to see how the young boy does here. As I say, Ramsey was so effective rolling inside and opening up space for Watkins. So I'm sure Rogers will replicate that same role, but has he got the quality experience to do it? We'll soon find out.
And so Rogers comes on, £16 million January signing from Middlesbrough. Both teams have been forced to make changes because of injury inside this opening half hour at Kenilworth Road. Martinez, the Villa goalkeeper, wearing all black, sends it high and swirling into the opposition half. Good flick on from Watkins. First touch for Rogers since coming on. Tries to cross left-footed, blocked away by Reece Burke, and it goes out down by the corner flag, I presume, for a throw-in. Our commentary position, we don't get a great view of that corner flag down there. We have to really strain our necks, but I think that's got out for which has it. In fact, looking at the way the defenders are, I'm wondering if this is not a corner. It is. Corner to Villa on the left-hand side. They scored from the last one of these.
And it'd be good for Rogers to get that early touch and win a corner from it as well. Good for his confidence coming into the game.
I always say we come to Kenilworth Road. As long as nothing happens in that corner, we'll be fine. So Douglas Luiz is going to take it. Surely Luton are going to stick like glue to Watkins this time. Here comes the Brazilian, short run up, floats it in, not much power, header down, out for another corner. It came off, I think, Kabore, out for another corner. Tindon Mengi is hobbling inside the penalty area, and he's hurt himself now, and this is another problem for Rob Edwards, having already lost Amari Bell to injury in this game. Mengi is very deliberately hobbling and showing that his left ankle is causing him trouble.
This would be a real issue here, Connor. As I said, I'm not sure exactly how the injury occurred there, but he's walking very gingerly right now here.
Well, the referee says, do you want treatment? He says no. So it'll be take 2 for the corner flag. Douglas Luiz leaves it for Bailey, and what was a rehearsed move. Clever move too, because it's opened up space for Tielemans. He plays it into the penalty area, headed away by Burke. All he can do is get it outside the box. It's straight to John McGinn, and Villa remain on the attack. Aston Villa leading at Kenilworth Road by a goal to 0 on 5 line. Super ball in again, and a header from Clement Longley is just off target. McGinn's delivery was brilliant, and Luton in danger of going 2 behind there.
Superb left foot delivery there. Great pace on the ball coming to the key danger area. Luton have a problem here going back to this injury. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I fear the worst. It's gone down again here, and this could be a real issue for Luton.
Well, John McGinn's a player you've tracked since his young days coming through at Hibs.
We saw him at Hibernian, played against his first game. He played up at Rangers, actually, Connor. And young boy there, but you could see his strength, his physicality, but his technique was good, his range of pass, and his desire to play as well. So there's no doubt he had that young quality, and great to see him doing so well in the Premier League.
We're not missing any live action. Tindon Mengi is receiving treatment inside the penalty area. John McGinn, who started every Premier League game for Aston Villa so far this season, he was on the score sheet when these sides last met. That was back in October when Luton went to Villa Park. And John McGinn, who'll be in international action later on this month. Scotland who go to Amsterdam to play the Netherlands. All building up to the Euros, when Scotland will be involved in the opening game of that tournament. Right, Mengi, having had treatment, has now sprinted off, so that's a good sign that he's going to be fit to come back on again in a moment. It's funny, actually, he looked fine when he was running. Now that he's on the sideline, he's sort of hobbling again. But briefly down to 10 men. Luton will get things back underway again with Thomas Kaminski. 1-0 Villa lead. Kaminski wearing all green, away to our left-hand side under increasingly darkening skies in Luton. Morris jumps, wins a flick-on header. Townsend will sprint after it, but there's the sweeper keeper. Out comes Emi Martinez gets there first and clears the ball away. Kabore for Luton, shows a bit of willing to drop a shoulder there on Rodgers and charge down the right-hand side, but the pass to Townsend is too close to Longley, who will shield and he will shepherd, and he just guides the ball until it trickles over the goal line and out for a goal kick. Now, what's happened here? Villa defenders and goalkeeper have some sort of an issue with assistant Stuart Burt down there, and I'm not sure what the issue was. It's a goal kick, which is, I wonder what all that was about. Very strange. Moreno and Martinez were both very strong in speaking to the official there. I don't know what that was. Maybe they thought there should be a free kick, but that was a curious one. Here's Rodgers, midway inside the Aston Villa half, breaking up towards the halfway line. Tielemans jumps over the pass because he knows that Bailey's in behind him, and Bailey picks out Watkins into the penalty area, shoots across the face of goal and just wide. He's on form, red hot form, Ollie Watkins, and you could see the confidence oozing in his veins as he took on that chance, and Luton are hanging on here at 1-0 down.
And well played, Rodgers. The young guy comes on, replaces Ramsey, comes into that pocket, gets in the half turn and plays it forward and opens up the space for Watkins. So again, repeating the tactics, but right now Luton aren't dealing with it.
It is 6 goals in his last 6 Premier League games now, including tonight for Ollie Watkins. And you can just tell by his body language, he wants as much of the ball as those midfielders can give him. He wants to be involved.
And he's got that desire, he's got the pace as well as he has the quality undoubtedly, so a real threat to Luton. I think Rob will be very happy to get the half-time just at 1-0 down here, Connor.
It's Mark Warburton watching this game of the 7-5 Live. Luton, who conceded 6 against Manchester City in midweek. First time in 30 years that Luton had let in 6 in a home game. They've conceded once here so far today, but in truth, Villa could easily have scored 3 here at least. This is Obene, left-hand side for Luton, who've not troubled Martinez at all. He's had one cross to catch. He hasn't had a save to make. Here's a cross from the left foot of Obene, lands on the roof of the net. He's a right-footed player, Chiedozie Obene. He's having to make do on the left-hand side, and he's disappointed to have hit the roof of the net there.
And Luton, as you mentioned earlier, have lost a major outlet in terms of quality from that left-hand side, Doughty all season. But I'm not sure what the problem is with Martinez. Have a word with the referee, but that left-hand supply is so important to Luton. They've got to rectify it. I'm sure at half-time they will do.
Yeah, I can only imagine that they feel Martinez is wasting time, but I mean, it's quite pedantic if so. It's not like he's, wasted 20 seconds or something there. Maybe a second or two as Longley came in and offered, and centre-halves, of course, allowed inside the penalty area these days for goal kicks. Anyway, play back underway. Villa leading by 1-0. Watkins 20th in all competitions this campaign. Clement Longley clears up towards Ollie Watkins, who's clearly found by Mengi. Mengi with his arm around the neck of Watkins there, and you could tell that Tendon Mengi at the moment is finding Ollie Watkins very hot to handle.
He really is, but he has to be strong there. Okay, a free kick's been given away, Connor, but I think he needs to be tight. He needs to stop the turn, the half turn, or the comfortable setback, because right now it's far too easy for Ollie Watkins.
This season where Luton have sent in so many crosses and created headed opportunities, that's not happened at all today. Doughty hasn't had a single opportunity to cross the ball, and you think what an important part of their armoury that he has been all season, but Villa seem to have nullified, and absolutely Luton have not been helped by the injury situation. Here come Aston Villa again. Tielemans too far in front of Rodgers. Out comes Kaminski, diving down on the edge of the penalty area, and he makes the save. But when they get going, Villa, in the Luton half, that space between the centre circle and the penalty area, they are carving through that like a hot knife through butter.
They really are. Tremendous cohesion, good movement, good awareness. So you're seeing the quality they possess undoubtedly. As I say, as a manager for Luton, I'm sure he'd be very keen to get just the 1-0 down. It could easily be 3 or 4, as you mentioned.
Villa have been in the top 5 since September. They're currently 17 points better off than they were at this stage last season. There is no doubt this Unai Emery team means business. Ezri Konsa back in the team today after injury. He'd missed the last 4 matches. Gives it to Martinez. Low ball to the feet of Rodgers. It's all too easy at the moment. Rodgers onto Tielemans. Rodgers takes it away again. It's a good surge here, and then he's fouled, and that's going to be a booking. Pull on the shirt by Riesberg. A real deliberate, cynical foul there to stop Morgan Rodgers. Villa take it quickly. Watkins is in and scores, but the flag goes up. Free kick was taken quickly. Ollie Watkins offside as the ball was played to him. What a finish though, Mark. In off the inside of the post. Brilliant finish, but he was offside. Luton tried to take the free kick, and Villa go, hang on a minute, at the very least we're going to VAR this surely. And we'll see how tight that was. Quick thinking for the free kick, and he was he off?
It's tight. Ooh. It's very, very, maybe just slightly. I look at the far side. I'm really not sure. VAR will be important here. Great awareness, great thinking, good delivery, good movement, and a fantastic finish from Watkins.
This could be tight. Chiedozie Ogbene in a left-back position.
I think the left-back keeps him on, personally.
He doesn't step up the way the other defenders did, and it's going to be tight. I'm looking at the shaded lines on the pitch there. Oh, I think this goal might be given. We don't have confirmation yet, but the video assistant referee, he's going to look at this one, and there is every chance that Ollie Watkins may have indeed doubled Villa's lead here at Kenilworth Road.
And you can only admire the movement, the awareness, the communication with his teammate there, and quality delivery to put him in. So they're alert, they're sharp, Villa. And this would be, without being rude, this would be a deserved 2-0 lead.
It's got to count. They don't know it yet, but this is going to count. Ollie Watkins is about to move up to 21 goals in all competitions this season. They're just checking to make sure that there was no other aspect of the build-up there that might have disallowed it. But Unai Emery celebrates, Villa celebrate, because the goal is confirmed. 2 goals for Ollie Watkins. He's on a hat-trick now. What a first half this has been for a rampant, dominant Aston Villa team.
It's too easy at the moment. As I said, getting a half-time only the 1-0 down. You quite rightly highlighted some of the chances missed earlier. He is so sharp, so dangerous, Watkins. But Bailey, Rodgers now, Ramsey prior to that, they look so effective going forward.
The quickly taken free kick catches Luton cold. And Chiedozie Ogbene, who's on, playing out of position on the left-hand side, left wing-back position. He's the man who plays Watkins onside. Earlier, when we thought it was going to be disallowed, we were praising the quality of the finish to just stroke it home in off the post. I mean, unstoppable.
They have to be careful here, Connor. You know, we're going to have a good amount of added time, I would have thought, with the injuries we saw earlier here. So there could be a good 10 minutes still to play, and they've got to be very careful. The third goal would kill this game.
Yes, Luton, who conceded 6 here in the FA Cup in midweek, and that has deflated their tyres. You know, there's no shame losing by a large margin to Manchester City, and many teams will do it. But it can take its toll. And 4 straight defeats in a row for Luton coming into this game tonight. You can see their tyres are deflated. This is Moreno for Villa. Villa have just oozed comfort and quality. I mean, talk about relaxed.
They really have. All credit defensively as well, Connor. Matty Cash there on the far side was aware of the threat posed by Brenner and by Chong. His positioning was good. He dealt with it really well, won the first header, and they broke from there. So all credit to them for both with and without the ball.
Morris controls the ball just outside the penalty area for Luton, gives it back to Alfie Doughty. Now Morris again, crossing position, left-hand side. Matty Cash spinning away from him. Morris does deliver a cross in. Townsend was the player waiting for it in the middle, and then there's a clash of heads on the edge of the D, and the referee will hold up play, as there are 2 players who are going to need treatment here. Ollie Watkins is one of them, and this is Burke, I think, is the Luton player who's down. He's lying on the back, so I can't see the number. Yes, it is Reece Burke. So collided into each other. Well, I'm not sure if it was a clash of heads, but the boat took the wind out of the sails anyway. They've both been down. Discussions as to whether the physios are going to have to come on. But a break in play, Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 2.
I think the half-time is going to come at a good time for Rob and his staff here, Connor, to look at what they're going to do to stop this supply into Ollie Watkins. It's been the outlet ball for them throughout this first half period, and it's proving far too effective right now. So whether he changes some sort of shape or personnel, but something has to be done to stop that outlet.
So play will get back underway with a free kick for Aston Villa. They decided, the officials, that Reece Burke was the guilty party in that challenge against Ollie Watkins. Martinez takes the free kick, long, searching towards Bailey, beaten in the air by Ogbene, who'll do well to keep this in play, and he doesn't. Now that's a throw into Aston Villa down the right-hand side. Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 2. And Cash comes forward to take the throw in right up against the Luton Town supporters. In that corner of the field, right-hand side as Villa come forward. It's thrown towards Leon Bailey. He's unable to pick out a teammate with his flicked-on header. Ball is cleared away by Ogbene at the back, but that's all it is, clearing the lines. Luton finding it very difficult to retain possession. Longley has it in the centre circle, now to Alex Moreno on the left-hand side. Moreno, who's still keeping Luca Digne out of the team. Digne's back fit again on the bench. such a regular supplier of crosses for Villa, but you can tell that Unai Emery very much fancies Alex Moreno, and since he's returned from injury, he's been near ever present. Burke has it for Luton, plays it back to Kaminski outside his penalty area, not taking any chances, boots it into the crowd.
Now you look at the game here as you approach half-time, Connor, saying, oh, Luton having an off day, but I think really we're doing Villa a disservice there. They've been outstanding in this first half, as I say, with and without the ball, defensively strong, solid, but they've moved the ball so well in possession and have proved a real constant threat, so it's more Villa being good than Luton being poor.
There have been 6 Premier League games this season that Villa have scored 4 goals or more. And when they get the bit between their teeth, they can be rampant, Aston Villa. And Luton, it feels imperative that they do not concede again before the break, but they've given it away again here, just outside the penalty area. Morgan Rogers onto his right boot, good shot on target, good save Kaminski, diving to his left, pushing it out for a corner. Aston Villa have been so easy on the eye, chance after chance after chance.
Far too easy, far too dominant here, great save. Obviously he showed the eyes that far corner, that was his only option, and a good save by Kaminski. But the third goal here, Con, I think will really finish the game, make it too hard for Luton, so important save going into the half-time break.
Luton are missing arguably their 2 engine room players today, Marvelous Nakamba and Albert Sambi Lokonga, and that is really telling the way Villa are dominating the central third of the field. Leon Bailey, who's already sent in 1 corner as an assist for Watkins, takes this corner kick delivery, this time too close to the goalkeeper, and Thomas Kaminski, the Belgian, gathers it high above his head. Now that's a good ball out to Clark, who'll bring it over the halfway line. Tahi Chong is ahead of him. Clark being held up now by Douglas Luiz, tries to veer away for the Brazilian. There was a collision off the ball, but Clement Longley hit the deck there as Luton were counter-attacking. The referee here has shown a yellow card to Douglas Luiz on the far side, and that's going to be a free kick, foul on Clark by the Brazilian. Now this is where Alfie Doughty earns his bread and butter. This is made for him to deliver from the left.
Absolutely, but look how quickly there the Villa players, 7-8 Villa players got back behind the ball, showing their defensive awareness and their togetherness to get back and maintain shape. But this is what you need, quality area for particularly the left flank for Luton, so important for them. If they get a goal back before half-time, give them a huge lift.
Douglas Luiz in the referee's notebook, joining Rhys Burke, who's already been booked in the game. Doughty standing just a few paces in from the sideline. This is level with the edge of the penalty area. Left-hand side for Luton. Here it comes. Morris free-headed down, but he didn't go for goal. He headed it back across. Surely he's got to go for the target there. Brilliant cross from Doughty. Brilliant leap from Morris. Surely they've got to hit the target.
I'm amazed at that. I thought I watched the quality
Here's
of the ball.
Tahi Chong into the penalty area, runs into Longley. It bounces up onto the arm of Moreno, but I would be confident that his hands were by his side. It goes off the Spaniard and out for a corner, but Luton are appealing for a penalty.
I'm not sure what Longley, the player, can do there. The ball moves so quickly onto his arm. Not for me, far from me. But the quality of ball from Doughty was outstanding, and surely Morris has to go for goal from that position.
Maybe it was just a miscue. Maybe he's going for goal and it's head like a 50-pence piece. Right, Doughty to take the corner. If Luton could get one back ahead of half-time, it would be a huge lifeline for them. Doughty delivery, too low. Headed away by Moreno at the front post. Issa Kabore will pick it up. Luton still just 10 yards outside the penalty area. That's a good ball. Tahi Chong, oh, what's he done? That is the classic cut in 2 minds. He's thinking, is the angle too tight for a shot? He's thinking, should I pull it back as a cross? And he produces this horrible hybrid where it balloons into the crowd. Dreadful from Tahi Chong. He'll be so disappointed with that.
It does show you, though, Connor, that they had the free kick from the far side, what Luton are renowned for. Good delivery coming, and from that comes the corner and the chance there. Poor delivery from Chong, but got some good areas finally just before half-time.
If you're just joining our coverage here, Luton Town 0, Aston Villa 2. Both goals in this first half from Ollie Watkins. Will be reacting to the day's other events up and down the land over half-time. Liverpool's 99th minute winner at the City Ground. Tottenham coming from behind to win against Crystal Palace. Everton beaten at home by West Ham. In the Championship, Queen's Park Rangers beat Leicester. Ipswich move up to 2nd place. And in the Formula 1, the new season underway in Bahrain, and a 1-2 for Red Bull, with Verstappen winning and Perez in 2nd. Well, Bailey under pressure from Bailey, but he does well to hold on to possession for Luton. And now Alfie Doughty has it at the back. Doughty at the moment effectively playing as a 3rd central defender. That's the position that he's taken up since Amari Bell went off. He tried a crossfield ball there. Issa Kabore fell over as it came to him. And that sort of sums up Luton's first half here at home against Aston Villa. We're into stoppages. They're going to be 7 minutes in total added on.
It's interesting to see what the manager does at half-time here. They need a lift. I'm not saying disheartened or dejected at all, but body language is telling you they know they've had a very poor first half. Villa have been dominant. Something needs to be freshened up here to give them a second half lift.
Aston Villa dreaming of hearing the Champions League anthem at Villa Park next season. Oh, that's so clever from Watkins. Sells a dummy to Mengi. Runs around the other side. Now he has a look up to see who's with him. Bailey's in the middle. Short pass to Rodgers. Great movement there from Ollie Watkins. It really was. And credit to Mengi, who had been turned inside out, how quickly he recovered to get back goal side. That sort of reminded me of Gareth Bale. That was the kind of manoeuvre he would pull, sort of, jumping over the ball, running around the other side. John McGinn in a tight corner of the centre circle, smuggles it on to Douglas Luiz. Villa enjoying themselves. Up to Watkins again. 2 goals already in the game. Tries to give it out to Bailey. Cut out by O'Benny. Luton still can't hold on to it as Villa come another wave of attack. Moreno on the left-hand side. Back into John McGinn. Luton still full of effort and energy, but they are chasing a lot of lost causes here. A lot of shadow boxing from Rob Edwards' team. Bailey has it just over the halfway line, far side of the pitch from us. Right hand side as Aston Villa come forward. He's clipped it in front of Cash. Good sprinting. Chong trying to keep up with him. Good play by the former Manchester United man. And Tahi Chong gets it back for Luton Town.
And we're talking about the attacking threat Villa possess here, kind of, but don't forget the work done by John McGinn in the first half.
Down goes O'Benny. Chance of a counter-attack for Luton. He was American football style tackled by Leon Bailey, and no surprise that the Jamaican sees a yellow card for that. He knew exactly what he was doing. Leon Bailey, he didn't want O'Benny to release himself from that particular challenge. Free kick's been taken quickly. O'Benny has it on the left-hand side. Villa's still getting sorted defensive-wise. Up against Matty Cash to the byline. Swings it in. Kabore beaten by Rodgers in the air. Morris to Townsend. Heads it over the top. And again, unselfish from Carlton Morris. He didn't go for the target himself. He tried to tee up Andros Townsend, and scoreboard doesn't look great for Luton, Mark, but Rob Edwards' team are finishing this first half a lot better than how they started it.
Absolutely, it give the players and the crowd a lot of hope there. Doing what Luton do well, getting quality balls into the box, get first contact, pick up second balls, and just be a constant threat. So we've seen it very late, Connor, but that's what you see in the second half for sure.
Luton, who often do rouse themselves in the second half of games, they very nearly had a comeback against Manchester United the last home game here. They came back to unsettle Chelsea when Mauricio Pochettino's side came here. Had a very good first half, but it was all Luton in the second half. And Rob Edwards will hope that pattern continues as Villa go in search of their third. McGinn, just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side, plays a 1-2 with Tielemans. Now the ball to Rodgers on the edge of the penalty area. Now Bailey, great build-up. The shot got the sting taken out of it, and Kaminski was able to make a comfortable save. But Villa, so threatening when they come in the attack.
Tight, intricate play, good technique, good touch, good awareness. So a real threat, as you mentioned. But as the ball comes out, as I mentioned earlier, the ball being played by McGinn and Luiz, middle of the park, picking up these balls and regaining possession. So very important.
So we have now played 6.5 minutes of stoppages at the end of this first half. Luton have still not had an attempt on target. Mengi has possession at the back for Rob Edwards' team. Edwards, a former Aston Villa player, up against his old club in this fixture this evening. Barkley to Reece Burke. Luton now over the halfway line. Issa Kabore gets it. Rodgers working hard to get back goal side of him. It's infield to Jordan Clark, who hit those stunning goals against Manchester City in the week, but hasn't had any opportunity to shoot today. Tahi Chong gets it, edge of the area, shut down by John McGill, and the referee says illegally. Well, it was a sort of shoulder charge, in with his hip, as John McGinn likes to do. And Tahi Chong hit the deck, and not a huge surprise that Villa aren't delighted about that decision. What do you make of that, Mark?
I'll make it soft at best, Con, if I'm honest with you. He's gone in Song there, 50-50 with Chong. They'll be very upset if anything comes from this free kick for sure.
So Bailey is down and nursing presumably a previous injury. This is right by where Luton want to take the free kick. Emi Martinez is erect in the wall. Those roars in the background are sort of ironic jeers for Leon Bailey, who finally got back up to his feet. He's been hurt here, Bailey, but he's obviously clearly trying to disrupt the preparations of the Luton Town free kick. Right, options here. Alfie Doughty, he can hit them. Ross Barkley can hit them. Luton needs something special here.
Well, last kick of the first half for sure here. We're bang on the extra time, on 53rd minute almost here. Important to hit the target, test the keeper at the very least.
It's about 3-4 yards outside the penalty area. It's the right foot of Barkley, and the wall does its job. And it's hit Longley, flush on the face, and he's staggered there. And there will just be some concern for Clement Longley as he tries to get back to his feet. His teammates are around him, but the referee has blown the whistle for the break. They will need to assess that Clement Longley is okay there, because his sparks seem to go out a little bit as he was struck in the head for the free kick. The teams make their way towards the tunnel, and once again in this wonderful season it's been the Ollie Watkins show. 2 goals from the English striker, 2-0 Villa lead of the break. Mark Warburton.
Yeah, and fair play. I mean, Unai Emery deserves enormous credit for the tactics he's employed tonight here. With and without the ball, they've negated the threat on that far left-hand flank. Cash's position has been outstanding, Bailey doubling up, but with the ball they've posed so many problems. Initially Ramsey, then Rodgers, and right now Luton have to do something. Whether Rob changes it, personnel-wise or shape-wise, I'm not sure, but something needs to change second half. Yeah,
the toll appears to be telling for Rob Edwards. He's long injury list. They've been without Tom Lockyer from a long time. No Nakamba, no Sambi Lokonga, no Adebayo. Amari Bell going off injured in the first half. It's all just proving too much of a strain. Luton are struggling here. Luton 0 West, Aston Villa 2.
Second half on the way with Connor and Mark on a day that has seen drama throughout the leagues, really. In the Premier League, the scores were as follows: Brentford 2, Chelsea 2, Everton 1, West Ham 3, Fulham 3, Brighton 0, Newcastle 3, Wolves 0. Liverpool scored in the 99th minute to get a 1-0 win at Nottingham Forest. Tottenham came from a goal down to beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Good day for Ipswich and Southampton in the Championship. They both won away. Southampton 4-3 at Birmingham, whilst Leeds could only draw at Huddersfield, and Leicester were beaten again, this time at home, by QPR. In League One, there were wins for the top 5, Portsmouth and Derby and Barnsley and Peterborough and Bolton. They all won. The League Two leaders, Mansfield, won. The National League leaders, Chesterfield, thrashed 4-1 at Dorking, and the Scottish Premiership leaders, Rangers, beaten at home by Motherwell. So Celtic with a chance to go back to the top tomorrow if they win at Tynecastle against Hearts. And in the Women's Super League, Manchester City are 3 points clear at the top after they beat Everton. We'll get plenty of Premier League reaction before the second half at Kenilworth Road. First, 6:27, Jill McKenzie has the news.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
For the first time, US military planes have been dropping aid into Gaza. Around 38,000 meals have been parachuted in as aid agencies have struggled to get through on the ground. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 100 people were killed during a rush on an aid convoy on Thursday. Meanwhile, Egyptian security sources say negotiations about a possible ceasefire in Gaza will resume tomorrow. President Biden says he's hopeful a deal can be reached in time for the start of Ramadan in just over a week. Police in South London say 2 women were shot when a gun went off as it was dropped by 2 suspects on a moped who were trying to get away from police. A man was also hurt when the moped hit him in Clapham yesterday afternoon. All 3 victims are now out of hospital. No one's been arrested. And votes are being counted in Iran after elections were held yesterday. There have been unofficial reports that the turnout was the lowest since the Islamic Revolution in 1979.
When you listen to Radio 2, you never know what might happen.
Boss the school run with Zoe Ball.
Wakey, wakey, gang.
Wake me up before you go.
Power through your morning with Vernon Kay.
Full house, superb.
Oh, I'm going to have to lie down now, I think.
Become totally T-voted with Sarah Cox.
What a tune. Cruise through the late shift with Trevor Nelson.
This is how we do it.
So join in anytime.
And make every day less every day.
With BBC Radio 2.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Villa lead Luton 2-0 at half-time. Second half on the way. Let's try and get as much reaction in from the day's Premier League games between now and kick-off for the second half. Let's start with Liverpool. A 99th minute goal from their substitute Darwin Núñez saw them win 1-0 at Nottingham Forest. So they're 4 clear of Manchester City, who play the derby tomorrow. Full commentary here on 5 Live Sport. Here's Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, what a way to win a game. I mean, can you sum it up for us?
Oh, the whole game, yeah. Was game number 4 in 11 days, so that's obviously pretty tricky with the squad situation we have, with the intensity of the games. One of the games was 120 minutes. It makes life not easier. You could see that today. I think the boys felt it today the first time properly in the beginning. We were a bit rusty, didn't have a rhythm really. We had to gain that during the game and did that step by step. We had better situation then. Second half then, against such a counter-attacking threat is really difficult. So defensive block, not the greatest rhythm because it never got great for us. And then each counter-attack is a massive threat, wow. And the boys did really well in the last line, and especially with Ibu, Virgil, Connor, Joey and Queeve. So when Bata came on, helped there obviously as well. So that keeps the game open. If you can keep a game open, there's obviously always a chance, but people stop believing in different moments. And I think Maka was the calmest of the whole game, the calmest on the whole pitch. An incredible play what he had today. Yes, and Darwin maybe want to just show that maybe the song is not really right. Nottingham fans saying for his introduction. So great goal, and for us obviously 11 days, 4 games, 4 wins is crazy.
So Forest are 17th. They're 4 points above the relegation zone. There was a lot of fury at the full-time whistle from the home bench. It eventually calmed down, and Rob Schofield spoke to Nuno.
Nuno, I can't imagine what it must feel like to lose that game in the end. Can you try and sum up your emotions for us?
We are sad and frustrated and disappointed. We deserve more.
I sense a great deal of frustration with the officials. Can you give us an idea of your understanding of all that? Because there seem to be numerous issues there at the end.
I will not comment anything on the referees. I'm sorry. Please understand.
Just wanted to ask you about your side's defending. Overall, felt like the team defended so well. Do you have any kind of complaints with how things played out at the end there, turning the ball over in the box? Would you have preferred the team to get rid and play for the point?
I think we limited very well the actions of Liverpool. We were organised, aggressive. On that point, yeah, in the end of the game required bad decisions. You mentioned well. But it's been a while. It's been repeating with us, unfortunately. Yeah.
And in terms of attacking play, finally, you did have numerous chances. For you, is it just all about that final moment and potentially kind of playing through the pressure in those tight kind of points in front of goal?
Yeah, I think we combined well. We had clear chances, 1v1s, situations that final pass, final shot should improve.
So Nuno Espirito Santo wasn't going to talk about the officials. So thank goodness the club have a refereeing analyst, Mark Clattenburg, who was also in the tunnel after the match. He had this to say.
As a club, Nottingham Forest, they've felt that there's been 1 or 2 decisions in the last weeks that they've gone against the club. Newcastle United, West Ham, clear decisions where the Premier League and the PGM World have accepted that it's a mistake. And today is another example where the law is quite clear. The law states that if the referee is going to stop the game, which he's entitled to for a head injury, if he feels that there's a head injury, he's quite rightly allowed to stop the game. However, the ball has to go back to the team that has the possession, and Nottingham Forest clearly had that possession. He did exactly the same in the first half. However, it was a different situation because it was more close to the penalty area, where the Nottingham Forest one is more towards the corner flag, and Nottingham Forest should have had the ball back, and therefore the possession of the ball, and the game's completely different. When you give the ball back to the goalkeeper in that situation, Liverpool have then gone on the attack and scored from it. So, you know, everybody, you can understand the frustration tonight that things just seem to be going against Nottingham Forest Football Club at the moment, and we just need to hope that this luck changes in the future.
So can you clarify kind of your role in proceedings here? Have you spoken to the officials? Kind of what are you doing on behalf of the club in this situation? I'm here to advise the club, and certainly because, for example, this is a matter of law, so therefore I can explain the matter of law. So that's what I'm there for, to advise the board, the football club. I haven't spoken to the referee. I'll leave that to the officials of Nottingham Forest to do. The owner's quite upset because they fought. You know, he's invested a lot of money in the football club and he wants to see results.
So that was Mark Clattenburg, all of them with Rob Schofield. See for yourself tonight, 10:30 on BBC One. West Ham won 3-1 at Everton, and their keeper, Alphonse Areola, saved a first-half penalty before they then scored twice in second-half injury time to get the victory. Here's David Moyes with Steve Bauer.
David, what a game, what a win, what a comeback.
It was a bit of a throwback, wasn't it? And look, it was never probably a 3-1 victory. I think Everton had a few chances. Our goalkeeper played brilliantly well. But, the games in the Premier League are tight and small margins quite often win them.
When he saved the penalty, did you think, this might be our day?
Yeah, but I felt at that time that, we probably hadn't done enough. I wanted us to make more chances, which I thought we did in the second half. I mean, look, we've scored another 3 goals today. We scored 4 in midweek as well. So at the moment, we're just beginning to find that again, maybe because Lucas Paqueta's back as well. But no, look, it was a great save, but it would be unfair just to mention that only save he made. He made 3 or 4 saves today, which probably stopped Everton getting a result. Look, the boys showed great resilience, stuck at it. And maybe a few things went for us today which haven't gone in the last 6 or 8 weeks. We've had quite a few things we don't think, people getting sent off and, a couple of penalty kicks, etc. So there's been quite a few things not quite turned our way. Today, our goalkeeper makes a great save in the penalty. And look, we scored, Thomas Suchek scores a brilliant goal. And then obviously the third one's a counter-attack. So well done to the lads, they've done a brilliant job today.
It is a fantastic goal, as I say, 10:30 tonight, BBC One. See all of today's goals. Next to Brentford's 2-2 draw at home to Chelsea. Here's Thomas Frank.
I think the first half there was not too much in it, if I'm fair, for either side. I know they had one cleared off the line, but that was offside. Then they got the goal. I think that was the only chance they had. We should do better in that situation. But second half, very, very proud of the players. I think the mentality, the willpower. And I said before the game here, we will fight. And I think in every game in the Premier League, you need to fight. Of course, you want to play good football, but you need to fight.
We just saw you go into the referee's room to have a little chat. What was said in there?
I was going in there to praise Jared, to say well done for refereeing the game, I think in general, but especially the 2-1 goal. I think it's fantastic refereeing because he gives the advantage.
We were just discussing actually what you were saying in there, and one of us actually said you've gone in to praise them. Yeah. We were like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think overall I think he did a good job. Very hectic, very physical game, not easy to ref, and I think he gave. He gave the soft fouls both ways, and not the little bit more than soft fouls either, which I actually liked.
Plenty to talk about on 6:06 tonight with Chris and Robbie.
Yeah, I think, chappers, we were speaking about that Liverpool win. What a win it was for Liverpool at that 99th minute. But obviously controversy, listening to Mark Clattenburg. Villa, can they finish in the top 4, chappers? Currently 2-0 up. Spurs with 8 goals. And in the Championship, chappers, it's so tight. Leicester, only 3 points clear now. Southampton, Ipswich, Leeds. The race to get back in the Premier League is really an exciting one, as is Champions League football and the title in the Premier League. 08285 909 693.
Thank you very much. Could be medals for Great Britain tonight at the World Indoor Athletics. Ed Harry is in Glasgow for us.
Yeah, underway here just after 7. Mark, women's pole vault first up. Commonwealth silver medalist Molly Caudry has the year's best vault coming into these championships, but she faces 2 Americans who between them they've won it all. We've got the twice and reigning world indoor champion Sandy Morris and the Olympic and world champion outdoors Katie Moon. Then we've got the 3,000 metres. Laura Muir and Josh Kerr going for Great Britain, and of course for Scotland. Kerr, the world champion over 1,500 metres last year in Budapest, beating Jakob Ingebrigtsen. Muir with 14 major championship medals to her name, and they include double gold when this same venue hosted the European Indoors 5 years ago. It's filling up. Could be a great night.
You can watch it all on BBC Two from 6:40 or listen on Sports Extra from 8:10. And quickly to Max Verstappen as the world champion, easily won the season opening Bahrain Grand Prix with his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez second. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz was third. Here is Verstappen.
I think today went even better than expected. I think the car was really nice to drive on every compound. I think we had a lot of pace, and it was just super enjoyable to drive today. We really stayed out of trouble, and great start to the year. I mean, it couldn't have been better. It's always very special to have these kind of days because they don't happen that often, that it just all goes perfect, and you are just one with the car, and everything just feels great.
In the WSL, Manchester City beat Everton 2-1, so they're 3 points clear at the top. Chelsea in second travel to Leicester tomorrow, and you can hear that on Sports Extra from 5:45 tomorrow afternoon. Luton have it all to do in the second half. They trail Villa by 2-0. Back to Mark Warburton and Conor McNamara.
Thanks very much, Mark. And we've got Luton back out on the field, and here comes the arrival of the visitors, Aston Villa. Villa, who got 2 goals in the first half, both scored by Ollie Watkins. The second of them after a VAR review. It was a quickly taken free kick. It was tight, but Watkins was onside. Luton, who tried to rally a little bit towards the closing stages of stoppage time. However, they had still, when the whistle blew for half-time, still to create an opportunity on target against Emi Martinez, the Argentinian goalkeeper. It's not been easy for Rob Edwards. He's had to put a few square pegs in round holes. Mark Warburton's alongside me. What can Edwards do to try and stem the tide here?
Be interesting to see what he does tactically here. Just looking to see if they've changed shape. Can't tell us yet. It looks like he's still going with a 3, but Doughty again, I'm not saying being wasted, he's a very talented player, but left centre half here, you're not getting the best out of him from an attacking perspective, but they've got to certainly stop that supply into Watkins, which was far too effective in the first period.
So referee Michael Oliver just waiting for the hordes that you now have nowadays, the backroom staff of these two teams. I mean, as they're walking across the pitch, it feels like there's 100 people on the pitch. It's ridiculous. There are so many coaches and analysts, and they all have the little walkie-talkie ears, and people have bags and equipment and iPads and the whole lot, and also that tactics can be discussed for 11 guys running around a pitch. Right, we are back underway.
All the money was spent on a bigger dugout, I think.
We're going to need a bigger dugout. Here comes Douglas Luiz, 15 yards outside the penalty area. Get back underway. Villa playing from left to right as we look down. Matty Cash chips in the left-footed cross, and it's a stooping header away by Reece Burke, hooked on by Jordan Clark. And so much of Luton's performance in the first half was trying to bail water out of the canoe. They're just trying to hang on in there, finding it very difficult to impose themselves in the game at all. Alfie Doughty playing as part of a 3-man central defence with Tindon Mengi and Reece Burke. Chidozie Obene's come on to play left wing back. Issa Kabore right wing back. Clark with Barkley in the middle. They've been overrun in the middle. Andros Townsend and Tahi Chong in support of Carlton Morris up front. Morris, who'd won big opportunity with a header, but he put it back across goal rather than go for the target himself. Burke has possession just inside his own half. Rolls it to Tindon Mengi, who's had a right tussle with Ollie Watkins trying to keep him under tabs. Doughty pointing his finger where he wants his teammate to go, plays it forward, it comes off Youri Tielemans, he thought, and then they say no, the free kick's the other way. Tielemans actually points and laughs at Doughty, smiles at his face and says, I didn't have a touch there. So, long throw in taken by Villa, controlled by Doughty. This is Obene, just inside his own half. Villa trying to garner some sort of momentum here, trying to get the wheels turning. But this is a tough situation now to try and come from 2 goals behind against Aston Villa in the mood they are in.
Well, it's interesting here, Conor, from that just the earlier goal kick. Villa quite prepared, let the centre-halves have the ball. We're getting a break down the right flank now, and a free kick given to him.
Cut in field of Rodgers, and he's had the legs taken out from underneath him. It was good movement by Kabore. And Rodgers has given away a free kick in a crossing position on the right-hand side. He dummied to cross it in, and he did a little chop turn, and then it was that sort of movement where he dragged his non-standing boot behind him. You see schoolboys do that all the time, but at the Premier League you're going to give away a free kick doing that, leaving that leg dangling. And here's an opportunity for Barkley to try and create something for Luton. 15 yards, 20 yards from the corner flag of the right-hand side. Plays it in, header from Burke, well challenged by Clement Longley. Ball might be still in play here, but Clark allows it go out, knowing that it'll be a throw into Luton. He takes it quickly into Carlton Morris, back to goal, defenders around him, loses it immediately. Bailey will come on the counter for Villa, but less haste, more speed, because he's given it to Burke. Luton trying to get purchase in the game. Ross Barkley will roll it out to Andros Townsend on the right-hand side. Kabore has gone on the overlap. Townsend, left-footed cross into the middle. Headed by Ezri Konsa, well controlled. Villa will now clear. Tielemans direct, looking for Watkins, who's well policed by Rhys Burke. Luton showing a bit of fighting spirit here in the opening stages of the second half. Townsend has it again. Right wing for Luton. Right-footed cross this time. Met by the head of Clement Longley again. Tielemans tries to dribble his way out of trouble. Runs into Clark. Great hustle by Tielemans. Looked like he was going to lose it there, but he was so determined he's held on to possession. And Bailey then gives it infield to John McGinn. Good composed play by Aston Villa as Rodgers has a good touch, and then he picks out Watkins in the penalty area, looking for the angle of the shot. He gets it on target, but it didn't have the power, and Thomas Kaminski makes the save.
Good to see from Luton early on there, Connor, in terms of getting crosses into the box and posing a threat, and some real energy from the kick-off whistle there. But again, the counter-attacking threat from Villa so very evident.
You can watch the best of today's action in the Premier League on Match of the Day this evening. It's a 10:30 start on BBC One. Gary Lineker joined by Jermaine Genius and Alan Shearer, and that will be repeated at 7:30 in the morning. This is 5 Live and BBC Sounds from Kenilworth Road, full house. Around about 11,000 in here, hoping that Luton can rouse a comeback. Kabore takes on Rodgers again. Down he goes. Free kick again. Free kick in a crossing position, and Rodgers is going to see yellow for this one, and that feels cumulative. That first challenge adding to what he's just done there. I think either one of them mightn't have been a yellow card, but the two of them are.
But far better. Didn't see anything in the first half really of this nature, so switching the ball out, good switch Mengi out to the right flank, and he's having to enjoy their Kabore on the far side. So this is a big chance for them, winning these free kicks in dangerous areas, quality of delivery and attack the ball.
Set pieces have been very important for Luton. This season they do very well in the optometric of big chances. They take their big chances usually. They've not been able to create a big chance this evening. But can Ross Barkley conjure something here? And this one's only about 5-6 yards from the byline. Out near the corner flag on the right-hand side. Barkley comes forward, right-footed, pulls it back for Alfie Doughty. He needed an extra touch, and by that time Tielemans was there to charge down the attempted shot. Luton still have possession, back out with Ross Barkley. Midway inside the Aston Villa half now, veering infield from the right-hand side to a more central location. He'll give it to Tahith Chong on the left-hand side. Chong running up against McGinn, pushes it past McGinn. McGinn then takes him down, but had won the ball first. It's gone out of play, and that's a corner. Corner to Luton. And they've had a succession of these now in the early stages of the second half. They still trail 2-0.
It's a bright start. It's what the crowd wanted to see. You hear the galvanised crowd noise behind them. Get something here. They're getting free kicks, corners coming in now. This should be their threat. They have to maximise the opportunity.
Luton have sent everyone forward. Only Kabore is not in the penalty area of outfield players. Interesting tactic there as Ross Barkley ran around the back of the goal trying to shake off his marker Yuri Tielemans. Corner still hasn't been taken. Here it comes on the left-hand side from Doughty. Watkins backpedaling, got a touch on it, hasn't been able to fully clear. In it goes again, 2 players go down. There's appeals for a penalty, but the referee says no, and the offside flag was raised anyway. So when the ball came back in the second time, there must have been a Luton player in an offside position. And Luton are preparing to make a substitute here as well, early stages of the second half. Daki Hashioka, their new Japanese signing, who's joined from Belgian club Saint-Truiden. He's about to come on for what would be his Premier League debut. He also came on as a sub in the FA Cup on Tuesday.
Interesting to see it's an injury, not Connor here. I mean, it's only 6 minutes into the second half. This change you would have thought we made at half time. So I'm not sure if one player is struggling here.
He's a defender, Hashioka. Maybe they need to get Doughty released a bit further up the field. We'll see once the change happens. This is Alfie Doughty rolling the ball back to the goalkeeper Kaminski. He plays it to Issa Kabore on the right-hand side. I imagine they'll take off one of the more attacking players to bring on Hashioka and then allow Doughty push on, but we'll confirm it all in a moment. This is John McGinn stamping down on the ball to control it near the centre circle. Rolls in front of Matty Cash. Villa wearing the change kit of sky blue tonight. Back to Ezri Konsa. Konsa on his return from injury. Can pass back to Emiliano Martinez away to our left-hand side. He will go long, straight down the middle, looking for Ollie Watkins. Policed by Tendon Mengi. Offside flag is raised and the ball is played towards Leon Bailey. He was offside.
But good though, Connor, slightly high line there by Luton, denying some of the space to Watkins that was so available in that first period.
So Daiki Hashioka will come on in place of Andros Townsend. Townsend, who used to play on loan at Villa's local rivals Birmingham a good 10 years or more ago. He makes way. Hashioka comes on, Luton Town's first Japanese player. And he has slotted in that left of the three central defenders, and as predicted, Doughty is back at his natural territory on the left wing. I mean, that seems a no-brainer. They've got to get him involved more. Kabore crosses on the right-hand side. Miscued clearance by Longley. Slices out for a corner. Corner to Luton, who have definitely improved, but how they must wish this game was still at 0-0 and not 2-0 down.
The crowd are here now. The crowd are loud and backing them. This is what they want. Quality of ball coming in from the wide areas. Make sure they attack these chances.
Again, they all go forward. Kabore stays back, and when I say stayed back, he's midway into Villa territory. All the other outfield players are up in the box. As Luton tried to overload, Alfie Doughty to take. Raises both hands above his head as a signal. Floats it in. Keeper was in a congested space, but he's big and he's strong, Emi Martinez. He gathers it, and then he seemed to fall awkwardly, and he's holding his back, and there could be a delayed restart here. Martinez slow to get back to his feet.
I think this is more just to kill a bit of time and delay momentum here. Luton the ascendancy in his first part, the second half. He's just being very professional there. But a good take, you want your keeper to come and collect in that manner, so great play for Martinez.
Today is Emi Martinez's 200th league start in English football. A player who had to be patient. He was on the fringes for a long time at Arsenal. He was sent out on loan many times, but boy, has it been worth sticking in there for Emi Martinez, and you know what a career he's enjoying now. World Cup winner with Argentina, and he hopes on his way to the Champions League with Aston Villa next season. Villa leading 2-0 here with almost an hour played at Kenilworth Road. Barkley has possession for Luton on the halfway line. Looks expansively towards the right wing, trying to pick out a pass to Issa Kabore, but the ball had to travel such a long way that Moreno was able to get across and make the interception. Now, Moreno's gone down off the ball here, and that's allowed a bit of space for Obene. He tries to send in low, and Moreno turns and scowls at the referee, and he felt he'd been fouled off the ball there. Play on. Luton have possession. Kabore back to Burke, back into a more central location to Tendon Mengi. Villa hanging deep, no particularly high press as they allow Luton to have it in the central third. Now Tahi Chong cutting in off the left wing. Tielemans leaning into it. Matty Cash pounces, connects with the leg of Tati Chong, doesn't get the ball. It's a free kick to Luton again. Another opportunity for Alfie Doughty.
And frustration growing here for the Villa players. They're not happy with the referee's calls here. Luton players are going down, but they're winning the set pieces. This is now a number we've had since half-time break here, so they've got to make sure they maximise these chances, get to great areas, and they have good delivery.
Credit to Luton, who've upped their game in the second half, but we gave Villa an awful lot of praise in the first 45 minutes. They have not quite kept up those standards.
No, they haven't, but good reaction. Rob said, spoke to his team at half-time. They've come out, they're using the width of Benner here and Doughty on the left flank. They've been effective, so well played to them. They need to get something from these chances.
Here's the free kick played in by Alfie Doughty. Header over the back post by Morris, ends up on the roof of the net. And that is a goal kick. 5 Live on BBC Sounds. Kenilworth Road. Luton hoping this isn't done and dusted just yet.
Villa will be keen to get on the ball here, maintain some possession over a short period of time, just to get control of the game again. But right now, Luton had a very bright start.
So Carlton Morris, who's leading the line in the absence of Elijah Adebayo, still out with his hamstring injury. Still waiting for a clean chance to come his way. He's had 2-headed opportunities now, and nothing has come to his feet yet. That's a good header. Obene to Kabore down the right-hand side. Now Moreno's got a decision to make here. Oh, he's been given the slip. Here's the cross into the middle. Headed down. Doughty! Shot is blocked by Tielemans. Brave defending. Luton have really woken up in the game now.
No, they really have, but they're playing the wide areas. Both flanks have been far more effective.
This is Barkley, 10 units outside the penalty area, left-hand side, plays a clever crossfield ball to Rhys Burke. Burke onto Kabore now, from one side of the pitch to the other. It's tight and congested here at Kenilworth Road, but Luton are making this pitch as wide as they can. And, you know, they're a bit like an ocean liner. They take a while to get moving, but now we're beginning to see a bit of a gallop from Luton as the defender who's come on, Hashioka, takes no chances, turns and rolls it back to Kaminski.
I think they're also seeing Rodgers as well, maybe not quite so alert defensively, and they're seeing a weakness on that far flank.
Yes, he's looked good going forward, Morgan Rodgers, hasn't he? But maybe with some effort to do. in terms of his retreating. Morgan Rogers, who scored against Luton 2 seasons ago in the Championship for his old team Middlesbrough. This is John McGinn inside his own half, turns and rolls it back to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz is making his 150th Premier League start. What a signing he's been for Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz, who was on the fringes in the Manchester City youth team, and he has become centre stage at Villa Park. Burke wins a header for Luton. They're winning the second balls far more often now. Kabore on the right-hand side. Better balance since the substitution has been made, it feels. Ball up to the feet of Obene. He can't make it stick. Now this is the danger. Counter-attack. Mengi steps down on the accelerator, gets there ahead of Bailey, and Aston Villa's attempt to counter comes to nothing there. 59 minutes on the clock. Villa, who counter-attacked with ease in the first half, but finding it more difficult, and I don't think they've really troubled Kaminski in the second period. Long ball forward, mopped up by Matty Cash, cushioned header back to the keeper. Here's Mark Warburton.
I must say, impressed by Burke there. There's the outlet for Villa in the first half, but his decision-making there was far better. He dropped off from Rodgers, provided the cover there to Mengi, and picked up that first contact. So, but far better at the moment, denying that outlet ball to Watkins, but he can't lose concentration here.
Luton, who are giving this their best at the moment, but they've only had one win in their last 7 Premier League games. They did have a bit of good news earlier on today when Nottingham Forest were on the verge of getting a draw against Liverpool, and then that 99th minute winner from Darwin Núñez left Forest without a point. So Luton know that there is a gap to be made up. It's 3 points as things stand between where they are in 18th and Forest in 17th, and the relegation line between them. That reassessment of Everton's points deduction, how costly might that prove to be for Luton Town? Burke makes an interception, ball goes out of play on the far side, and that will be a throw-in to Aston Villa. Villa, who are away again on Thursday. They travel to Amsterdam to face Ajax in the Europa Conference League. And Villa's next Premier League game is the visit of Tottenham to Villa Park next Sunday. That'll be a good game, the styles of those two teams going head-to-head against each other. And then they've got the home game against Ajax before a trip to West Ham. Those are the forthcoming fixtures for Unai Emery and Aston Villa. Villa who lead by 2-0 here. Free kick given against Rodgers, who was tracking back there, but he has fouled Issa Kabore. Free kick to Luton.
Details important here, Connor. You see that again, stopping that ball into the centre forward, which was so effective in the first half. They're having the first contact, they're picking up second balls, and allows them to give a bit of momentum here. Villa can't really get hold of the ball and dominate as they'd like to.
60 minutes on the clock. Manchester Derby to come tomorrow. 3:30 kickoff. Full commentary here on 5 Live. John Murray will be with Dion Dublin for that one. Ball over the top by Barkley. Picks out Kabore. Great first touch, but good recovery by Moreno. Kabore, who flicked in field of Morgan Rogers, thought he was going to get a chance to shoot, but Moreno got back to put it out for a corner.
But again, width is proving a problem to Villa here. So if didn't happen at all in the first half. Now we're seeing both flanks prove so effective. But again, another set piece. Now the ball coming into the box. Important to get this first contact here.
Over a third of Luton's Premier League goals this season have come from set pieces. Can they make this one count? Of all Premier League teams this campaign, Luton have scored the 3rd most goals from set pieces, which really says an awful lot for a team in the relegation zone, how important these corners and free kicks are. Again, Doughty raises the 2 hands above his head. Again, he floats it in, and Martinez is able to gather. That one was too close to the goalkeeper.
Disappointing. You've got a keeper here who's confident to come and collect the ball with good techniques. They're going to have better delivery for this wide area.
Great distribution. Martinez to Watkins. He pushes it on to Leon Bailey, who's taken up a position on the left wing here. Luton working hard to get players back behind the ball. Still 2-0 the visitors lead at Kenilworth Road. Douglas Luiz, centre of the midfield, plays it with the outside of the right boot, just in front of Matty Cash. He'll sprint to keep the ball in play. That was almost perfect from Douglas Luiz. And it was one of those where he stamps on the ball, he spills off the pitch, he tries to run back on again, but the ball is touched out in what will be a throw-in to Luton. Left full-back position for them. Doughty to take. Into Jordan Clark. Now this is Rhys Burke. Luton playing their way out of defence much more comfortably in the second period than they were able to do in the first half. Issa Kabore with the yellow boots. Gives the ball into the feet of Chidozie Obene. Kabore has missed a lot of football lately. He was away at the African Nations. Here's Obene. Defender got a touch. It was Clement Longley got a touch on the cross that Obene tried to deliver from inside the penalty area. Otherwise, there was 3 or 4 queuing up in the middle. It was a good opportunity for Luton. Tielemans has it for Villa, who just need a spell of possession here. Just try to take some of the fizz out of the bottle that Luton are shaking vigorously. Douglas Luiz has it near the centre circle. Short to John McGinn. Crunching away, snapping at his ankles is Jordan Clark. But Luton can't get the ball, and this is good game management from Villa. They're not necessarily going on the attack, but they're just trying to frustrate. Oh, Luton, and as they say that, it's been given away by Rodgers again. That's a few unforced errors from Morgan Rodgers. Kabore for Luton. Crosses too close to the keeper again. Easily held by Martinez.
I think that's an issue for Villa right now here, Connor. I think Morgan Rodgers, as I say, with the ball has been very effective, but without the ball, defensively his awareness is not quite as good as Ramsey for sure, and it's being exploited here by Luton.
Aston Villa, who've only lost one of their last 10 away games in all competitions. That was at Manchester United on Boxing Day. And you might remember that game. Villa led 2-0 at half-time, but United came back to win 3-2 in the second half. Luton are hoping that Villa might fade a bit here in the second period at Kenilworth Road. Matty Cash is complaining that the ball wasn't given quickly enough to him by a ball boy there. Throw into Aston Villa, right full-back position. Cash gives it back to Ezri Konsa. Back to the goalkeeper Martinez. Morris runs in to hurry him up. Now Clement Longley still inside the penalty area. Chips it up to Rodgers inside the centre circle. Nice first touch to get it under his control. Gives the ball out to Leon Bailey on the right hand side. Cuts infield of the Japanese defender Hashioka. Now Tielemans controlling on the edge of the penalty area. Hashioka bites back, good play. Wins it for Luton, but then they give it away straight to Matty Cash. Feels like Villa might just have got a second wind here. They're seeing more of the ball, but now Douglas Luiz gives it away. Clark tries a chop turn, runs into Tielemans. Tielemans has been hurt there. That was bone against bone. Play on for the moment. Tielemans is down. Villa temporarily playing with 10 men. Tahith Chong gives it short to Ross Barkley. An expansive pass out to the right wing to Issa Kabore. Tielemans now back up at his feet, but not able to participate. Kabore has a look, sends it in, right-footed, bounces awkwardly for Longley, and he shuffles it out for a corner. It's another corner to Luton Town, who still trail 2-0.
But their tails are up here. There's a greater intensity about their play here, Connor. They're winning tackles, snapping at tackles. As you mentioned, Tielemans got hurt there, but certainly there's more intensity, and they're getting the rewards from it. They have to make all these set pieces, at least get something from them here. The first contact will be important for them.
Aston Villa have been forced to commit a lot of fouls in this game. That's an evidence of how Luton are getting under their skin at times. But Unai Emery's team very grateful of this 2-goal lead that they've carried since the first half. Doughty's corner, here it comes. Higher this time. Goalkeeper stays on his line. Headed down. Oh, off the goal line. Back in again. Chong! 2-1. Game is back on at Kenilworth Road. And the persistence for Rob Edwards' team. Set piece after set piece, and if you give Luton enough of them, they will capitalise. Tahith Chong with his third goal in all competitions this season, and Luton Town deserve it.
Absolutely, they've had so many set pieces from the half-time break here. Quality ball in, but they kept it alive, they kept persistence, and they got their rewards. Great save, I thought, from Martinez. I'd like to watch it back. After catching cleared off the line by the player, but then they get their rewards. The next 5 or 10 minutes now vitally important here. See how Villa reacts and what Luton can do.
Aston Villa, who were so comfortable for 45 minutes tonight, and then just in the closing stages, the lengthy injury time we had at the end of the first half, Luton showed a glimpse of some green shoots of recovery. Those have been built upon in the second half. The attitude has been spot on from Rob Edwards' team. Crucially, he's made tactical tweaks that we thought he needed to mark. Those have made a huge difference.
They really have. The position of Reece Burke, I think, has been key, stopping that ball into Watkins. But again there, when Mengi goes, he drops in and maintains shape. So good play from the centre-halves here. Important to maintain this intensity. They're winning the ball, they're playing forward and posing Villa some real problems.
Watkins went down there claiming he was fouled by Hashioka. Michael Oliver was right beside it, says no. And then John McGinn, venting a bit of frustration, fouls Tahith Chong on the halfway line, and that's a free kick to Luton. Well, we're about to find out the fibre of Villa's fabric here, because a game that was so comfortably in the visitors' favour, they're now hanging on to this 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I'm just watching Rodgers there drifting in the midfield, not really marking and leaving that right flank exposed. I think Moreno feels exposed, certainly, and they have enjoyed down that side. I don't think Luton need to change it here. Keep moving the ball, more intensity to their play, and again get the outlets and balls into the box.
And if you weren't with us in the first half, Villa with goals in the 24th and 38th minute from Ollie Watkins to the 2-goal into the break. 2-1 now though, and here's Tahith Chong again in the penalty area. Couldn't dig the ball out from under his own feet. He sort of controlled it at a standstill, and he couldn't shift his body weight to get any sort of momentum on a shot, but he was inside the penalty area. End to end of the moment. Tielemans plays it in front of Leon Bailey, but not accurate enough. And Villa's passing, which was so slick and so smooth in the first half, that's letting them down now.
No, it really is, but again, it's the intensity of Luton Town. You saw Mengi's position there. Ball went forward, he pitched it up comfortably, and Luton regained possession. Villa are now having to work too hard out of possession, and I think Luton here will get the rewards if they keep on persisting.
Well, the outcome of the next half hour or so is going to be very significant for both the race for Champions League places, but also relegation battle too. Can Luton get back in this one?
Unai, I'm sure, will be looking to resolve this problem they have on their left flank. Right now, as I say, Rodgers and Moreno are exposed, and Luton are capitalising.
Aston Villa in 4th place, Luton in 18th position. This is Rodgers controlling near the centre circle, plays it on to Youri Tielemans. Tielemans, who was right up alongside Watkins in the first half, has been forced to play a much more midfield role in this second period now. They've not been able to launch counter-attacks with anything like the ease that they did in the first 45 minutes. Here's Douglas Luiz, edge of his own penalty area. Gives it to Ezri Konsa. Rob Edwards, who, despite just 1 win in 7 games, he was nominated for Manager of the Month in January. There is clear evidence of, what he's trying to achieve with these players. Tendon Mengi heads it out for a throw-in. Villa throw far side of the pitch from us, left wing for them.
Good play there, Barkley and Clark working so hard in midfield to deny that ball into McGinn and Luiz, forcing Villa to go long, and they're getting that first contact, especially Mengi, who's had a very good second half so far.
Villa, who've only lost one of the last 15 Premier League games against teams in the bottom half of the table. That was when they were beaten at Nottingham Forest in November. They normally do well against the teams towards the bottom of the league, but tonight they are at the moment very grateful to have scored 2 goals in the first half, because there's no doubt which team has been on top in the second period. Here's a throw in for the visitors. Moreno near the corner flag that Villa attacked down the left hand side, throws it in towards Watkins, leaning back into Burke, last touch off Watkins, goal kick to Luton.
When you think how easy they cut through Luton's defence in that first half, Colin, yet here we are not testing Kaminsky at all, and Luton in control. Again, look to play the ball. I don't think they need to change. Keep working that right flank, left flank of Villa. I'm sure the rewards will come.
Well, the quality is there, isn't it? I mean, if Villa can produce the chance, there could be an Ollie Watkins hat-trick to be discussing here. And we know that Douglas Luiz has been in the goals lately. Luton will be aware any mistake could be pounced upon, but Luton are not making mistakes at the moment.
There's no need to complicate it, is it? Keep doing the simple things very well, do the basics well, and I think they get the rewards from that.
This is 5 Live on BBC Sounds from Kenilworth Road, this 5:30 kick-off in the Premier League. Luton Town 1, Aston Villa 2. This is Obene down the left-hand side, right up against the chalk of the sideline, and he's done well against Konsa, and then he was fouled as he tried to canter onto it, and that's a free kick. And Villa are giving away so many free kicks now, that plays into Luton's hands.
It does, it galvanises the crowd. I think for me, Luton, don't play short, keep putting the ball into the danger areas if you can, keep threatening, keep posing the problems for Villa.
Ezri Konsa holding back, Chitose Obere. Free kick for Alfie Doughty on the left-hand side. He's in position, ready to take it, waiting for his teammates to settle in the centre. High defensive line from Villa. Martinez is bouncing up and down on the edge of his 6-yard box. Here it comes from Doughty. Great whip on that! What a ball in! Morris! 2-2! Luton back from the dead! Who saw this coming at half-time? And it follows the script. The quality of delivery from Alfie Doughty was simply sensational there, and that's how you finish it. Carlton Morris with a 4th goal in his last 5 Premier League games. 2-2. Which way does this go now?
Outstanding. That's why we love this game, Connor. But what a great delivery. The high line's a key point that you mentioned. Gave a big area for Doughty to hit. Great timing, and Morris's technique to finish, outstanding. You're seeing Unai here telling his players to calm down, but again, they've just conceded. How do Luton now react? For me, maintain the intensity now and the desire to get on the ball.
What a free kick. I mean, to give a sort of golf analogy, he's got a dog leg right, He has given it with a bit of fade and he's whipped it. I mean, that was perfect from Alfie Doughty. But it still needed to be finished. And Carlton Morris stepped up. That's 8 Premier League goals for him this season.
And listen to the crowd now. The crowd are galvanised. They're behind them. They're giving the support we used to here at Kenilworth Road. Great to see, great to listen to. And how now will Villa react?
73 minutes on the stadium clock. Kenilworth Road is bouncing. Konsa suddenly looking uncertain, and I didn't think we'd be using that word about Villa in the first half. They had their slippers on in the first half, Villa. They were enjoying it. They were thoroughly dominant, but Luton, through sheer hard work and determination, have dragged their way back into this for 2-2.
And all credit to Rob Edwards. They've made some changes. What was said at half-time, we'll never know. But again, they've galvanised the team here. Keep using that word because it's so important. Luton have come out a different team here. Great desire, intensity to get on the ball. They're winning the challenges, doing the basics well, and they're gaining the rewards. Important now to keep on doing this. Don't change the game plan.
This is Rodgers. Again, a poor touch. Shows too much of it to Mengi. Kaminski clears away for Luton. Straight out of play. He gives a wave of apology for his teammates for not keeping that in. 2 early goals for Ollie Watkins at Villa in the driving seat. However, Luton are now the dominant team. Can they go get a winner? What an amazing comeback that would be if it could happen. McGinn has it on the halfway line for Villa. This is where they have to prove that they are a Champions League quality team. Can they dig it out here, having thrown away a 2-goal lead?
This is important now, Connor, for Luton. Don't give Villa anything. Nothing loose given away, no cheap passes, no putting no basic mistakes. Just do the basics really well and maintain this intensity and momentum.
Tahith Chong goes down, fouled by Matty Cash. And in this game now, Villa have had high over their average number of fouls conceded in a Premier League match this season. And that's their only way they can contain. Burke onto Kabore. Kabore, who's been great this second half. He helps it onto Chidozie Obene. 10 yards from the byline, right-hand side. Back to Jordan Clark. Clips it in. Morris up again. Saved by Martinez. Point-blank header, but he put it straight at the goalkeeper. Luton nearly get a third.
But again, we're repeating it. It's looking at Rodgers trying to pick on one individual player there, but not getting back, not getting tight, not stopping the crosses come in the box. And here we have Luton picking up first contact, second ball, and dominating play completely.
Downey's delivery for the Morris goal, his 6th assist in the Premier League this season. As Bailey comes attacking down the right-hand side, and he can't control it, and it's just not happening for Aston Villa. They're trying to do what they did in the first half. It was effortless in the opening 45 minutes. It's now proving very difficult indeed, and I'm not surprised that Unai Emery is about to crack the whip here. He's making a triple substitution in the coming moments. For now, 2-2, Kenilworth Road, 5 Live from the BBC, on BBC Sounds as well tonight, on what's been a very exciting day, not just in the Premier League, but down the leagues and in Scotland too, and many results that have made us sit up and take notice. Could this be another to join the list? Don't forget, match of the day tonight, 10:30 on BBC One. Ball goes out of play on the far side, throw into Aston Villa. Zaniolo is one of those who's going to be coming on. Luca Digne as well. And this is where Unai Emery can flex his muscle, because compared to Rob Edwards, Emery has got a bench full of internationals, proven winners, all the rest of it.
No, he'd be concerned right now, Connor. As I say, that far right flank of Luton's is causing some real issues here, and he has to resolve it. Watching Ogbena, what he's doing here. Kabore as well is maintaining width on the flank and posing the problem. So they've got to sort this out very quickly.
This is Moreno at the back for Villa, gives it infield to Clement Longley. Now John McGinn in the midfield. He was running the roost in the first half in there, but here's a given away pass by John McGinn, and this malaise has really crept into Villa now, to the point that they can barely make a pass.
That was key though. Again, you saw Mengi step in, Burke's position to cover almost, and Mengi's got the confidence to step in front of Watkins and win the ball. Huge change from the first half.
Villa, who'd won their last 2 Premier League games in a row, and they hadn't won 3 in a row since Emery's first 3 away games in charge over a year ago. This is away games I'm talking about. Are they about to come unstuck on their travels here at Kenilworth Road? 2-2 for the moment. Watkins goes down, no free kick again. And then Mengi played a pass which for some reason Obene didn't chase after, whether he was expecting something different. Aston Villa get it back and they have it with Martinez. So Irobunum is about to come on. Zaniolo is about to come on. I wouldn't be enormously surprised if Rodgers got hooked, which would be a little bit insulting to him given that he came on as a substitute, but he's been the weak link as we've illustrated.
It's one of those tough decisions here, Connor, isn't it? How do you pull off the substitute? But I think it would make a big difference to Villa right now.
Right, here come the changes. So first up, it's a change at left back, and that's like for like. Luca Digne will come on in place of Alex Moreno. Leon Bailey is going to go off to allow the introduction of Nicolo Zaniolo. And Diaby is coming on as well. It's a quadruple change. Heavens above. Is it, or have they changed? Yeah, it is. No, it's four changes in one. Wow, you don't see that very often. And I mean, I think this is noteworthy, Mark, because Unai Emery is clearly saying, hang on, what has happened to my team here? I'm making 4 changes because I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Well, the quality of energy, he's not happy with what he's seen here. He needs to make a difference. Right now, Luton in the ascendancy and dominating play.
So Diaby is on, Digne is on, Irobunum is on, and Zaniolo. Those are the 4 players who've come on. And the players who've gone off are Rodgers, which is not something that he'll be particularly proud of having come on as a substitute. Tielemans is off, Bailey and Moreno. Down goes Ross Barkley, hacked down by Douglas Luiz. Free kick to Luton, and I'm actually surprised a card wasn't shown there. That was a quite cynical challenge from Douglas Luiz.
That did merit a yellow card, I have to say. Surprised by the referee's decision on that occasion. But another free kick, another dangerous area. Villa with a high line, undoubtedly. Another great opportunity here for Luton.
So it'll be Alfie Doughty to take this free kick. It's not a million miles away from the position that he swung in from Morris's goal. Villa have brought everyone back. Again, it's a high defensive line from Aston Villa. Here it comes from Alfie Doughty. Similar angle. Morris was ready for it to come, and Digne, I think, got a touch just ahead of him. That'll go out for a corner. Corner to Luton, and there's no let-up for the Aston Villa defence as they continue to face set pieces here.
Villa need to deal with this. They need to get first contact, but more importantly, get some time on the ball. Luton are absolutely dominant here. The crowd are behind them. You can hear the noise as we're talking, but I think vital for Villa, if they get anything in this game, is just get hold of the ball for a couple of minutes.
Doughty's going to take it. Kenilworth Road, expectant, looking on. This has been some comeback if you're just joining our coverage on 5 Live. Luton were 2-0 down at half-time. They've dragged it back to 2-2 and they're in the ascendancy. Doughty's delivery in too close to the goalkeeper. He tries to hit it. Such tight margins every time. That one was too close to Martinez, who clears away down the field and picks out Diaby. Fresh legs, just on as a sub. Moussa Diaby raise it back across the face of goal, but Chidozie Obeni is there and able to clear away for Luton. Here is Irobunum. Tim Irobunum, who's come on. It's his 4th Premier League substitute appearance of the campaign.
Interesting, O'Connor, on that break. Villa didn't get the player forward at the same urgency as did in the first half. So I think they've been under pressure and keen to reserve some energy here.
Here's Clement Longley to his fellow Frenchman, Luca Digne. Digne, who's provided more crosses into the penalty area this season, not just than any other Aston Villa player, but any player in the Premier League, even more than Alfie Doughty. They're the top 2. This is Clement Longley. Bit of space in the left channel. Clark goes over to try and close him down. Now Luca Digne, this is what he's been brought on to do. Delivers in a low cross, Burke sliding in ahead of Zaniolo. Sends it out towards the sideline, but it's kept in play by Clement Longley, and Villa come again. Chance for Longley to cross. Left-footed ball in. Headed down by Hashioka. Chong was brave. Stretched out his right foot in front of Irobunum. His left foot, actually, and he gets caught, and that's a free kick to Luton. That'll relieve a bit of pressure. Free kick on the edge of their own penalty area.
And Villa needed that kind of, they need a little area, a little time of possession, just get some passes in. Didn't even have to make forward ground, just get some passes, to slow the game down, ease the tempo. The momentum is all with Luton, so it's important they get hold of this football.
40% of play has been in Aston Villa's final third over the last 15 minutes. 40%.
Huge number. All credit to Luton and the staff here for the way they've come out second period. They've really attacked the game. Saw that belief in what they do, belief in their quality, their intensity, and they're getting the reward, reaping the reward, should I say. But here we go now to the important last 10 minutes.
Chong getting back to his feet. Kaminski's come out of the penalty area. He'll take the free kick. Because the physios came on, it means Chong must go off. And Michael Oliver just having a word with Thomas Kaminski. Free kick to Luton. 82 minutes on the clock. 2-2 on the scoreboard. Chong is hobbling, shaking his head. I'm not sure if he is going to be able to continue. They are preparing a replacement. Pelly Ruddock Mpanzu is going to come on. And is it Chong who he will replace? I think so, yes. So Tahi Chong will make way. Pelly Ruddock Mpanzu comes on. The man who's come all the way from non-league to the Premier League with Luton Town is going to come on for these closing stages. By the time the stoppages are added on, there's at least 10, maybe 15 minutes to go here.
A good man to bring on, though, Connie. Knows the club inside out, know what the crowd demand here. We're so used to these type of situations, so a good sub to bring on for sure.
Clark in the midfield, fouled by Irabunum again. 2 free kicks given away by Tim Irabunum in the space of a couple of minutes. Free kick in attacking position for Luton. This is just what they want.
We said it all second half. You said it, Connor. Free kick after free kick, corner after corner. But again, look at this high line. It's given Doughty areas to aim for here. And Morris, in Morris rather, they have a player who will undoubtedly attack the ball. How they miss Adebayo, by the way.
Yes, that target is absent tonight. Can Doughty pick out someone else? Here it comes, left-footed, that bend again. Morris again! Oh, it was carbon copy, but he put this one wide. It was identical to the goal. But this time, Carlton Morris doesn't plant it into the bottom corner. He sends it across the face of goal and wide, and he'll be relieved when he notices that the offside flag was raised on the far side. But again, the delivery, perfect from Doughty.
They cannot keep giving away such cheap set pieces here, Con. They'll pay the price sooner or later.
Here come Villa down the other end. It's up for grabs this game now. Still over 5 minutes of normal time to play. Zaniolo gets in a tangle down by the corner flag and is beaten by Jordan Clark. Zaniolo wasn't hungry enough there. Here's Ross Barkley, edge of his own penalty area, holding off Irabunum. Passes it back to the goalkeeper. Confidence that we saw from Villa in the first half is now transferred to Luton, and they are feeling so comfortable in possession. Referee says the last touch came off Kabore, the far side. Luton crowd disagree with that, but the throw-in will be for Luca Digne. He takes it back to Clement Longley. Oh, again, crossed wires. Poor pass to Luca Digne. That returns possession to Luton, and Villa have not just been not on it, but they have gone several steps back in the second half.
I wouldn't go far to say it's hanging on, Connor, but there's certainly the way the momentum has changed in this game. But the basics, you're seeing Luton win the tackles, step at the tackles, emerge with the ball, play forward. Their challenges are strong, their shape is good. Really impressed second half.
The lines are now open for 606, which is coming up at the end of this game on 5 Live. You can get involved with Robbie and Chris. 08085 909 693 is the number to call. Luton come on the attack, another high ball into the penalty area. Morris tussling with Luca Digne. Ball goes out for a corner. Corner to Luton, and they'll throw the kitchen sink at this once again. Much to react with the boys at 606. There were 6 Premier League games at 3 o'clock today. Liverpool's late winner of the City Ground. Tottenham, who looked in trouble against Palace but finished strongly to win. Everton beaten at home. How costly might that be as David Moyes returns to Goodison and takes the 3 points. Here at Kenilworth Road, Luton led 2-0. Aston Villa led 2-0, but Luton have come back to make it 2-2. And it's been that sort of an afternoon. Here's the corner. Played in by Doughty. Goalkeeper comes. Martinez has actually done very well with those corners in his second half.
He has, but I've got to say he's better than that, Doughty. His delivery's been so good, but that's 3 or 4 times now he's played straight into Martinez and made Martinez look very good. He's dominant in that 6-yard area. Don't give him the opportunity to look so good.
Doughty may be frustrated with the quality of set piece, commits a foul on Douglas Luiz, and that's going to be a free kick to Villa near the halfway line. The big clock hits 87 minutes. 2-2. Clement Longley has possession. It's, I think, really an illustration of the quality of the Premier League. You've got 2 teams here at opposite ends of the table, but Villa dominating the first half, Luton dominating the second half. Mengi strong and firm, and Ollie Watkins, whose day got off to such a flyer with the 2 early goals, Watkins, but he's not had a sniff in the second half.
He's been outstanding, Mengi. Sorry to interrupt, he's been outstanding. He's been dominant in the middle there. He's good decision making, when to step in, when to stay and maintain shape. Deserves enormous credit.
Clement Longley at the back for Aston Villa. Barely featured at all for the club in the first half of the campaign, but ever since Pat Torres injured, He's been a regular in the team. Today is his 10th Premier League start in a row for Clement Longley. Matty Cash has it at right back. This is Longley once again. Pressure upon him by Chidozie Obene. Longley runs down a blind alley there, and he's very fortunate he didn't lose possession. Watkins picks up the loose ricochet. Here's Douglas Luiz. Villa got a late winner in them. 2 minutes of normal time to play. Cash to Moussa Diaby, who's looked bright since coming on. Low ball into the feet of Ollie Watkins. Back out to Diaby, edge of the penalty area. Steadies himself. Great ball. Digne! Luca Digne arriving to head it in to restore Aston Villa's lead. 2-0 up. Back to 2-2. But Aston Villa make it 3 now. Luton 2. Aston Villa 3 with 90 seconds of normal time to play. And it's 2 of the substitutes combining. Brilliant cross from Moussa Diaby. And Luca Digne, who's normally the provider for goals, he was in hand to score his first in the Premier League this season.
I think we'll be able to be fuming there, Connor. They have to stop the cross coming in. I couldn't see the play. I want to see the replay here. But it was a great ball. It's too easy to put the ball in without pressure. And again, they gain their rewards. They've worked so hard, Luke. They've never said no attitude. But again here, as the ball comes out, stop the cross, get out to him. He was too slow to get there. Ball comes in, and the rest we know.
It's the first time in his Premier League career that Luca Digne has scored a goal inside the penalty area. Normally he hits them from distance, but this was all about the timing of the run. In around the back of Issa Kabore. Diaby's delivery spot on, and that is an enormous goal from Unai Emery. VAR are checking it. That is the way of the world these days. But Unai Emery was in full flow celebrating it, and the goal is confirmed now that it stands. Luton 2, Aston Villa 3.
That's a body blow for Luton there. They've been outstanding in his second half. From the start, from the first whistle, quality of their play, never said no attitude, been first class. But again, they get undone by not doing the basics well.
5 minutes to be added on for stoppages. Unai Emery will be so satisfied. His team were in trouble. He made a quadruple substitution, and that has turned the tide back in Aston Villa's favour. 2 of the subs combining for the goal. I mean, what more can you ask for your manager than that? Very astute from Unai Emery. Luton, who've come from 2-0 down. The trouble this time is they've no time. We're into stoppages at Kenilworth Road. John McGinn leaning back into Mengi. He was looking for a free kick there, McGinn. He doesn't get it. Luton in their haste to give up possession to Matty Cash. Now Diaby released over the halfway line, running with Alfie Doughty with those fresh legs, plays it into the penalty area. Watkins back to Diaby. Good work from Hashioka. Did well to get back into position and to win possession back for his team. Luton aren't giving up. Morris back helping out the defence. Hashioka's clearance up towards Obene. He controls with Luca Digne behind him, and he's been fouled by Digne, even though Digne bore the brunt of it. And this is insult to injury here for Luca Digne, because he's got a smash on the nose there. But it's because he went into the back of the opponent. He's down, he's going to need treatment, but he's the one who gets the yellow card.
No, one of those awkward situations. But you saw how hard Morris there worked back, as you rightly said, to cover the defence. But the problem being, when they do win possession, Luton, they have no forward outlet. But again, it's come at such a crucial time for them. It hurts them after so much effort. And the crowd galvanised behind them. But this is a tough game. This is what football's all about, Connor. But it's important. We've still got 3 or 4 minutes to play. Maybe one more good chance for them.
Well, I have to say, from a neutral point of view, what an entertaining game. Villa, class, Champions League quality first half. Luton full of belief and endeavour in the second period, and what a great story to come back to 2-2. But if you want to go to the Champions League, you need another trick up your sleeve. And Unai Emery's side have had that, and it's remarkable that they lead 3-2 now.
Now, but you mentioned before the game about Luton, the fine margins, losing games by the odd goal late in, and once again here, after that sort of effort to come back and try and get a vital point on the board, Connor, they get undone by an 89th minute winner. Well, what could be the winner?
Luton have got 2 back-to-back away games after this. They travel to Crystal Palace, then they go to Bournemouth. And the next home Premier League game here is a big one, the visit of Nottingham Forest. That's on Saturday, 16th of March. Rob Edwards' team running out of games now as this first season back in the big time for 3 decades draws towards its final furlong. Luton, who I think have won a lot of friends with their style of play. They have been good to watch. They have not been whipping boys, but this is a very, very difficult league to survive in.
Absolutely. Those 3 games you mentioned, Bournemouth, Palace, coming up and then Forest, 3 vital games, them 9 huge points in terms of their survival opportunities.
Brentford got a draw today against Chelsea. They're only above Forest, 2 places above the relegation zone. This will be a costly, damaging defeat for Luton if it does end in this, particularly after coming from 2 goals down. If you're joining our coverage late, 2 goals from Ollie Watkins in the first half. Chong and Morris got it back to 2-2 for Luton in the second period. Luca Digne, with his first Premier League goal of the campaign, has Villa in front here in the closing stages. Ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Villa away to our left-hand side. Luton huffing and puffing, but it feels like this chance has gone. 90 seconds of the 5 minutes to go.
Fair play to Unai Emery, as you rightly mentioned. He made the 4 substitutions, but resolved the issue on their left flank. Luton's right, stopped the supply coming, stopped the forward ball, and it's been very effective.
So Aston Villa, who haven't been out of the top 5 in over 6 months, have no intention of relinquishing their position in the top 4 for the moment. Tottenham winning earlier on today, with Manchester United playing tomorrow. This will be a key win if Unai Emery's team hold on for it. Long ball forward for Luton. Morris in pursuit. Konsa gets there first. All he can do is nudge it though, and Morris does get the ball at his feet. Here's Ross Barkley, and he didn't get a clean connection on the edge of the penalty area. Matty Cash tries to skid it away. Konsa slices it onto the roof of the stand. Luton are going to get one big last chance here. Kaminski asking for permission to go up. It's a corner to Luton, and Rob Edwards tells Kaminski to stay at the halfway line.
With the 95th minute, this is a chance, I think, Connor. They have to take it, keep the delivery away from Martinez, or get a block on the goalkeeper and try and get his first contact.
Doughty goes across. Can he provide, as he's been doing all season? Can Luton, who've already come from 2-0 down, get another equaliser? Martinez stays in his line. Mengi header over the top. It wouldn't have counted. Whistle had blown anyway. There had been a foul on Clement Longley. It's a free kick to Aston Villa, and that might well be that.
I think that should be their final effort here. There we go, over 95 minutes now. So fair play to Villa. They've come back after being hurt in the second half, but enormous credit to Luton for making a fantastic spectacle this afternoon.
Highly entertaining game. Carlton Morris, he will look back at that chance he had. The carbon copy of the goal he did score when the delivery from Doughty landed on his instep. He tried to give it the instep volley into the far bottom corner, and he put it just agonisingly wide of the post. That might have led to a very different narrative. As it is, Luton have given it everything, but they're about to come up short-changed. This is Kaminski. Is there maybe one last chance? Kaminski goes long. Longley with the header. Referee has glanced at the watch, but no whistle yet. McGinn picks it up in the centre circle. Anywhere will do for Villa now. Barkley desperately trying to get the ball back off John McGinn, who's got Diaby available outside him, and the ball has gone out of play for a throw into Luton, and still no final whistle. We've now played 6 minutes into the 7th minute of stoppage time. Down goes Barkley. He wants a free kick. Referee says no, throw in the other way. That might be it now.
Lewis is pleading with the referee here, Connor, but I think you have to sense he's going to blow now.
Aston Villa hoping that the final whistle blows, because they do not want any further drama on what's been a proper Premier League battle this Saturday tea time. McGinn has possession on the right wing for Villa, loses out to Alfie Doughty, and finally and inevitably the full-time whistle does blow, and it is 3 Premier League wins in a row for Aston Villa. The hunt for the place in the Champions League next season continues at a pace for Unai Emery. It is 3 home league defeats in a row though for Luton. It's the first time that's happened to the club since 8 years ago, when they were in the 4th tier. You've got to remind yourself regularly of how far this club has come in such a short space of time. They tried so hard to get back in this game, but this is the standard of the Premier League, and Aston Villa ultimately had just enough to win.
Absolutely, that encapsulates it. For all of that effort, all that desire, all that hard work here, that's now 4 Premier League defeats in a row, 5 with the cup defeat against City. So he'll be very aware of that, Rob. 3 vital, important games coming out. But you watch their display this afternoon. The togetherness, the unity, the teamwork is so evident for all to see. but the fans being behind them, both here and on the road, will be another key aspect.
Well, they were given a scare, that 2-goal lead that was taken off them in the second half. Aston Villa this season have dropped the fewest points from winning positions of any Premier League team. They've only let 3 points slip once they've had their noses in front. But I'm pleased to see this, Mark, that the home fans are staying. They're applauding Luton even in defeat. They appreciate what Rob Edwards' team almost pulled off here with that second half comeback. If you look at the figures, I'm not going into numbers, if you look at the wage bill of the two teams here and imagine disparity between the two, Luton deserve enormous credit. It's so frustrating to see a team put in that type of effort and come away with no points this afternoon, but the crowd recognise their work rate. Well, if Aston Villa are in the Champions League next season, they might well look back to that late winning goal from Luca Digne. Has been a very significant moment on a day when it looked like they were about to drop 2 points. Unai Emery's team came strong late on, and that is what the great teams do. This Villa side, which very much appears to be going